Welcome,
Uh,
everybody, to the 1879 actual play. I am Brad Decker. I'm the line developer for 1879, and we're going to get things rolling. We'll let everybody go ahead and do their introductions, and then we're going to get a recap for you. So go ahead and roll call, everybody.
Hi, I'm Joel. I'm one of the 1879 writers. I'm playing Morgana, who is an elven aristocrat and general busybody.
Hi, I'm Andi. I'm apparently the GM. I can be bribed with dice, game books, and apparently pecan bars. Good to know.
hi, my name is Drew, and I'm playing Mac the Troll, and I am a producer of Pecan Bars.
That's why your character lives this week.
Fair.
Ladies?
I'm Michelle, and I play August, who is an elf and an investigator.
River.
Hi, I'm River. I'm Lexi. I play an elf explorer named River.
Yay! Our other mage couldn't make it today. I think he goes back to teaching soon. So he's gotta do work stuff. Drew, you want to read?
I say Brad hasn't introduced himself yet, so
Brad introduced himself first. He said he
Oh,
was
did
the
he?
line developer.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
I missed that.
Yeah, but he didn't say who he was
Well, hey,
playing.
What? I play Nigel, who's a Galvanic Mage.
So under the
He's no
recap,
longer pretending.
under the recap department, Mac the Troll was hired. He's a soldier. Was hired to beef up security at the Notitia Private Inquiry Office in London and met the team. He was quite startled by Mr. Ford's parrot, Hedron, and some of the things Nigel has taught it to say.
Who the hell's Mr. Ford? My name's Fullmore,
Yeah.
or my last name is.
That would be me.
Close
I'm
enough.
Mr. Ford.
Oh, sorry.
Nigel Barrett, who's learned bad things.
Mr.
Okay.
Fullmore.
Thanks to River.
All right.
That's all right.
Yeah, Mr. Weymont. Okay. And it seems the team had previously rescued a bunch of children from some sort of Fey exploitation. And the defeated Fey's clanfolk were quite displeased with their efforts on the wee baron's behalf. There was talk of threatening letters, a slain banshee, fardag, and a mirror with prepare written in blood by a magical hand. Will do me fair best to keep me colleagues from the wrath of the good neighbors, but it all sounds a bit over me head. Nana always said the wrath of the good neighbors come in threes. She also said to keep cold iron, St. John's wort, rowan, ash, holy water, and salt handy for when the Fae be grinding their blades. And not to forget that while a Fae might be right pissed, if the Fae ever worked together, they would conquer all of Scotland and were free except for the Susnut. I would remember that I should remember that other Fae can trip up the one is after ya, and to put out a dish of milk for the hearth spirits quick as quick. So we have Fae troubles.
So you are mostly there, but I can see where your poor character was thrown into the deep end and might have gotten a little bit confused. They did rescue a bunch of children, but that has nothing to do with the Fae woman that they killed. The Fae woman that they killed, they're very confused on why, if it's her, that this whole mother thing is being bantered around. They actually have no idea. She had to do with some revenge murders, and it looks like was possibly making this human mortal work on rendering lard in a way that would make this a much bigger problem for all of London.
We had a crumpled bit of paper with murder, punish, shame, pain, hurt, hunger, suffering, Agony Mother.
Yes, they don't actually know what mother has to do with it.
Fair enough.
Now, they have hypothesized that maybe the Fey woman they killed had children, which is a pretty good hypothesis. But the children they rescued was actually from a well, they were being forced to like make drugs. And a lot of them were dying because this was not good conditions. And they have a friend who's a medium who had been worse than usual, and he's not always in the best sanity levels anyhow, but he was much worse because all of these ghost children were like taking over his house trying to get him to help them. And so they investigated that, found out where the children were, found out about the whole, for the most part, the whole scheme, and rescued the children that were there. But it has nothing to do with the Fey woman that River killed.
That we know of.
That you know of. That's true. River, I'm just saying.
So what's the plan? I assume being threatened with blood on a mirror is nay good for everybody. So what's the plan for? Do we go check out where the old lair of the Banshee? What else? Where else? What other leads do we have?
I don't know that
We
they know
never
where he
found her
lives.
lair.
We
I
know
was gonna say,
where
do you guys
her prime victim was, but
not
that's
the
not really.
lair?
Yeah.
Prime victim was in the care of the Grail Knights, if I recall correctly.
She is, I think. Yes.
So I think they wanted to study the long-term effects of having an association with such a creature and probably keep her safe because
they're odd.
yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch where this was. What did you just say?
The prime victim of the fairy had been passed to the Grail Knights who'd come to help tidy up the mess after fighting the Fey woman.
Actually, I think this would be a
So
good point to tap Brad because he'll probably explain better than me. But I don't know if Drew knows who the Knights of the Grail are in 1879, and
I
that
do not.
might be helpful.
So
Actually, his
the
character may not know.
so the
Not just him
Knights
as a
of
player,
the
but his character might
Grail.
not either.
The Knights of the Grail are essentially the royal magical defense group. They are headed by Mr. Fairchild, and they are charged with protecting the crown and London to a lesser extent from magical threats.
All right. Is that something where it's appropriate for regular folks to come and say, "Hey, we got a threat mirror bloody mess letter from the Fae. You are the magical protections. You shall probably be aware of what's going on, and can we be of any assistance in tracking this down since we don't want to be killed?"
Not usually, but we have a contact.
and I believe Morgana was penning a letter for that said contact.
And also, Weymont has the professor who does has Fey knowledge as well. So, if I remember rightly, obviously I know Chris isn't here, but
So, what I remember is that there was some things like that being bantered about as you guys were going to head out to do some of that stuff. That's when Miss Price screamed, and you found the blood on the outside of the mirror. Miss Price wanted the mirror out of the building because that creeped her right out. I think you guys did put the mirror out in the alley. And that is literally, I think, where we left things off is you guys were deciding what the next course of action was.
But as I have in my notes, our very next course of action was going to be to head out to a machinist or gunsmith or someone nearby to see about getting some cold iron.
Mm.
So I guess my question is are you all going en masse?
That sounds fine for me. I would like to make sure the misprice is at least comforted. Like, can we spill some salt around the property? Tell her what to look for. Give her a little charm with some St. John's wort, rowan, and ash, and hopefully help her get her equilibrium back a little bit, and then head out.
So salt, there probably is salt there. That part's easy. The rest of it, not everybody would have that just laying around, let alone at an office. So probably not.
Okay.
But simply because it's just I don't know that they would have St. John's wort, rowan, and ash laying around, if that makes
Okay.
sense. As far as
Right.
what to look for, that is a perfectly lovely idea if you guys knew what to look for.
I
And it
don't know
seems
that
like
they would
Max may
necessarily
be-
go after her because she wasn't involved in the plot really. They were going after our office, but it seems like that was really just leaving notes primarily.
They were going after the office because that's where we brought back the victim and where we were holding ourselves up as much as anything.
Right, and we're
It's
associated there, but
also
I don't think they're going to go after Miss Price herself.
Yeah.
it's
Well,
also where we killed the Fae.
her experience is that she's frightened, and there are incidental casualties that happen when you get involved in things. I just want her to feel a little better more than anything else.
I think that's very sweet.
Yep.
I also think that Max seems a little more versed in at least mythology when it comes to the Fae. I'm not saying it's the reality, but the mythology he seems a bit more versed in.
I had a gran. I have a gran, I should say.
So
Get some cold iron and see if we can find a horseshoe.
So we are going to set Miss Price with a nice cup of tea. Tell her you will be back.
Yep.
At least make her feel comforted. And then all of you are going to find the nearest stable and look for horseshoes.
Cold iron.
So we're looking for cold iron first or horseshoes first?
The cold iron came up first. Start there.
Yeah.
While we're heading out, Morgana will send her letter, which will have the details of what we saw in the mirror and the threats we've had to our contact in the Grail Knights. And we'll send it with a runner.
Okay.
Actually, cold iron is anything of iron that has been crafted by mortal hands. So a horseshoe would work just fine. Some nails, a spade, a plow, a blade.
Hold on. It has to be crafted without heat. It's not cold iron if you heated it.
Mm-hmm.
Above a certain point.
It's pretty much without heat. Otherwise, it's not cold iron. You can hammer it, but you can't heat it. And yes, horseshoes, I believe, are considered cold iron.
Sounds like a
So are
win-win.
because they were using nails last time.
Because that was what we were able to get to hand quick.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. All
So,
right.
yeah, we should really have some proper charms to defend ourselves.
So we are going to a stable for horseshoes.
And some nails.
Who are you talking to? Sorry, are we wanting nails or horseshoes?
Yes.
The
I would
farrier
pick
will
up
have
together.
both.
Yeah, the farrier
Yeah.
will have.
Okay. I guess that makes sense. I don't know much about horses. But I
And
guess they
Morgana
do.
is- And Morgana will happily pay handsomely for both.
Okay. So you guys managed to. How many horseshoes you want? Shouldn't be a big problem.
Mac has plenty of carry capacity, so I'll get a little bag with some nails and horseshoes. Is there
But- Basically, what we should do is just like get some twine and put a horseshoe around each of our necks as like a charm.
Minimum.
So you want basically 6 horseshoes, or you want like I'm.
Yeah.
I'll carry another 4 of them to put around the property and some nails. And if he has like a short piece of metal, one of the folklore bits is that if you put a bit of iron in, just has to be a strip or a blade shape, you hide it under the front door, and witches cannot enter. So I don't think that's a bad thing to do. Shouldn't be too much.
I figure we go for like 12 horseshoes, since they usually come in sets of 4.
Fair. I'll carry everything people don't want to look.
All right, so you're getting 12 horseshoes, a
Some
bit
nails.
of some nails, handful of nails, yes.
Yeah.
A little strip.
And it has a strip. Like he wouldn't. No, I don't know that he would have just a strip. Like, but you could put a horseshoe under the door. I don't.
I don't know if you've ever been in a blacksmith shops, but there's always tail ends and bits. I just find some longer than
Except
thicker. I mean, just a little
went
piece.
to a stable, not a blacksmith. You can go to a
Oh, I
blacksmith,
see.
but a farrier wouldn't necessarily have ends and bits because they're not a blacksmith. But yes, I have been to the garage. My
Yeah.
dad had a couple of forges, so I am aware of this,
Mm.
but slightly different.
I'll get what I can. If the best is a horseshoe, that's fine.
You could bend the horseshoe out straight if you wanted.
All right. Mech is a
I feel like
ridiculous.
your character would have some strength. Maybe
Yeah,
do that.
probably.
What is the music that keeps playing in the background?
Oh, that god awful thing. It's an ice cream man.
Ooh.
No, it's the estate that we're on. It's not just ice cream. It's a money laundering nightmare. And I'll leave it at that because we're recording.
But now I'm super curious on how the ice cream is money laundering. You have to tell me later.
I'll tell you later.
Andy's,
Yeah, I'll
Andy's
tell you later.
curious just for another, adventure thing to tie in.
Well,
Absolutely.
now like I need to have an ice cream man who's a money launderer and something, because that sounds badass.
Cash heavy
Basically-
businesses.
In a nutshell, yeah, cash heavy businesses. So, ice cream man, car washers, and taxis, laundromats, yeah, that sort of thing.
Andy, in answer to your question, Mac has a strength of 19, which is 2d6, and I rolled a 10 with a 6 and a 4, so I re-rolled the 6. It got me to 15 to straighten out a bit of iron. So the big troll just takes a little bit and straightens it out, or tries to.
Just takes one of those horseshoes and kind of straightens it out. You're fine. Or you could even maybe kind of smush a nail, because a nail's kind of a straight bit.
Whichever, it's all good.
Whatever
It's
you
all
want.
good. Yeah. I think there's something to be said for watching a troll straighten out a horseshoe.
There you go. So you guys watch kind of straighten out this horse.
Note to self for August: do not annoy Mac. Could snap own neck if angry enough.
Yeah, pretty much, you know.
Yeah.
I would think the new note for August would be, hooray, a new meat shield.
Yeah, but don't annoy him so that he stops being.
Because then you're going to have to
know,
go back to being the one taking the shotgun blast in the chest.
Yeah,
I
that
feel
hurts.
August is not a big burly guy.
No, he's not.
He's not. And so I feel like August is like looking at Matt going, the meat shield. Yes. Yeah. I'm just going to hide behind that dude.
Yep.
First game I ever played was first edition Shadowrun, right? I've never played, and I will be honest, the guys I was playing with did not really explain much, right? They made the character, they didn't really explain anything. And of course, we're in a 7-Eleven at 2 a.m. when, you know, robbers come in and start shooting up the place. And so, as they do, right? And I get asked, well, what do you do? And I'm like, well, what's the biggest thing here? Well, it was a troll who happened to be one of the party members. That was apparently the biggest thing nearby. I hide behind him. Well, don't you want to do anything else? There's some crazy people shooting up the place. I'm going to hide behind that and then think for a second. But currently, no, that is, I'm going to hide. Gonna, but you have magical powers, which nobody really explained what spells you had or anything like that. So I'm like, I need a minute to think. So I'm just going to. So yes, I felt like it's a perfectly valid form of life for August to be like, I'm going to hide behind that dude.
Yeah.
Because I'm tired of being shot and punched.
Yeah. And not annoy him so that he stops letting me hide behind him.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing is worse than trying to hide behind that dude and he just picks you up and puts you in front of him. I'm just saying. Push the troll too far when he just picks you up and goes, my shield. And like you don't come hurt him, but okay, fine.
Bad touch, put me down. But yeah, so anyway, so note to self.
Okay.
Morgana will just comment on that being quite an impressive trick. She's never seen it outside of a circus.
It's okay. You want to pick you up? Sorry, the baby tried to get up on the couch because he wanted to sit with Gotti, and he missed and he fell.
Oh,
Silly baby. Silly baby. He's fine. We're
Baby's
just
got
gonna
his
sit
own
with
meat
you.
shield.
Yeah, he does. His meat shield is Gotti, who he thinks is the bestest thing in the world. Please note that even though he's a strapping manly man for a Papillon, the 90-ish pound German Shepherd is still substantially bigger. And what does the little man do? Follows him around, pulling his tush hair and things like that, trying to encourage him to play. See, August doesn't want to go around pulling Mac's tush hair. Because one of them is going to just be like...
For multiple reasons.
Multiple reasons, yes. But no.
Than watching this little Papillon boy just mess with the German Shepherd. I'm just saying. Pretty fun. All right. So you have a piece of cold iron horseshoe. You have 11 more horseshoes and a bag of nails.
head back to the building, and I'll follow Gran's instructions as best I recall, and I'll make sure Miss Phoebe, is that her name?
Yes, Phoebe.
Price.
Miss Price. Try to get it proper here. Miss Price knows that we're laying a little cold iron at the corners. We're putting in the iron piece that the witches cannot reach within, and we're gonna go and see if we can get some help to get this all sorted out, and we hope she feels better.
Which is nice. Perception checks.
Sure.
Awareness.
Well, we're
It's everyone.
1 second here.
It is everyone.
That's cool. I just need to go to my other desk, that's all.
Oh, Mac rolled a 10. That's a reroll, right? So 16.
Cool.
Again, if I can get this
Max.
thing to actually roll properly. There we go.
23.
Oh, and I have awareness at step rank 2, if that makes a difference for anything.
That's 7.
All right, so I've got a 16, a 7,
11.
11
11.
for Morgana as well.
Couple of 11. River, what was yours?
23.
23.
Ooh, hello.
It's the
Much.
D8.
Everybody but Brad. These are D8s, those bloody something D8s. Everybody but Brad apparently notices that there's a couple of other smaller mirrors that you would have usually seen that are gone. And even Brad notices that Miss Price is, her hands are shaky enough that it's like clattering on the small plate that goes under my teacup. That's a name.
Saucer.
Saucer.
Saucer, yeah. So it's thank you. It's just, you know, I don't know if you can hear that noise, but like it's as she's sitting there sipping her tea, and I will say, River, with your 23, that's not straight tea. It's a little early in the morning for Miss Price to be indulging a little, but she is today.
That runs over the yard arm somewhere.
Yeah.
You mean Walker is not a tea?
So she looks at you guys and goes, I don't think any mirrors are safe anymore. They're out in the alley. All of them that I could remember. You might go look in the alley.
Well, as Mac heads to the alley, he takes a moment to hand her a cold iron nail and says, keep this in your pocket for a bit.
She clutches it so strongly that
Did anything
you're slightly
happen while we were gone?
poke herself with it and draw blood. Like she is holding that thing like a lifeline.
That's fine. Did anything happen while we were out?
And she has this look, and she looks. Have you seen pictures of Miss Phoebe?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she is ashen. And she's usually a very, bright, robust looking lady, and she is ashen. Had to take all the mirrors out.
I
And
don't
she
question
takes
it, but I look inquiringly at her. Just kind of why.
you'll see.
River will
And she
go out to the alley and check the mirrors.
all right. Anybody other than River going out to the alley to check the mirrors?
Sure.
Before I leave to go down, I want to give a quick astral sight in the office. Just check things over.
That's valid.
Let's see. 15, 23.
Nice. It's really weird. Do you know that astral space could kind of blur on the edges? Wait, it doesn't blur on the edges. Why is it blurring on the edges? Yeah, I don't know that you've ever seen it blur at the edges. As if
Blurring
it's-
like we're not connected anymore?
Well, I mean, you have magic theory again?
Yes, I do.
You can roll that.
Uh, 15.
You would say that you are still connected, but you're not sure how well connected you are. Or maybe you're not connected, or how well not connected you are. That is weird. But yes, you would say that the connection either to astral or the connection to reality is displeased.
Hold on before anybody else goes outside, and I will describe what I'm seeing to them in layman's terms as best I can. Let's have a look out the door with my astral sight. I should hopefully still have that active. Or if I need to roll again, I can.
As far as I know, it's still active for a little bit. Anyhow, I thought.
It lasts for a number of rounds equal to my rank. I have rank 4.
So 4 times for 30 seconds or so at least.
Yeah, so
But you can using it for that 30 seconds while you're going, hey, hold up. Astral's a little wompy right now. Just so y'all know.
but does it, if I look out the door to the office, does it look like it's fading more out there, or
Out out the door from the building, so outside.
right? Yeah, just like for us to leave anywhere.
Outside seems well. Wait, let me re-ask this. Outside the front door, or outside the back door.
Well, if we were going out to the alley, we'd be going out the back door.
Oh no, the back door looks worse. Just gonna throw that out there. Hey, while I'm throwing that out there, Morgana, I kind of need a will check.
Oh no.
A 5.
Oh,
A 5. Go outside.
Nigel
Mac,
has told us to not go outside, hasn't he?
yeah, Mac has been warned about that. Can I step between the door and the lady before she goes out into trouble?
Initiative.
Okay.
And I will attempt to grab Morgana's arm
Initiative.
and risk getting slapped again.
I'm not going to pay. I'm not going to pay the strain for Tiger Spring on this one. Good
Mac
news.
gets a 5.
3.
3.
Hang on, initiative, step 7. D12. Woohoo!
All right, so it says a 12.
Hang on.
Max 3,
Mac got a 5.
a 5,
Yep,
and
I got 8.
you got an 8. So an
Yeah.
8 of 5, and what did Morgana get?
Morgana got 3. Was this just after the contents of the message I sent you? Private message I sent you?
Oh, I've gotten the private message yet. We'll find out. 1 second. Oh my goodness. You are brilliant and I love you so much. So I need you to do one thing once you do what you sent me a message.
Yep.
You know that helps you? You want to take that and then
I'll
do that
try.
again. So Morgana is taking off her horseshoe.
Yep.
I will give an awareness check to Mac and August.
Sure. Awareness is
I'm going to use a karma on this one.
uh,
Need that karma. Save that for later.
No, because I don't want Morgana going outside.
Mac got
13.
Mac got a 6 and a 5, which makes 11, and I'm rerolling a 6. I'm getting lucky dice today. I don't know what's going on.
That's okay. I'm rolling.
Another 1. So that makes a total of 12.
Nice. August?
13.
Very nice. Slightly too late. Morgana takes off the horseshoe, drops it on the ground, and re-looks at her makeup compass.
Compact.
Compact. Compact. There you go. You can tell how good I am at girling. Compass, compact. There.
You're about as good
And-
at girling as I am, Andy, by the sounds of it.
I kind of am bad. But basically, you realize August and Mac, you are 2 heartbeats after August realizes it, what Morgana has done. And cinematically, August lunges for Morgana.
Just
And
to
it's-
try and catch her arm, but yeah.
And it's just as if you kind of grow through it because she's just gone.
Am I allowed a reaction at this point or no?
But you can totally react.
Okay,
Is she-
well, I will drop my horseshoe, look in the reflection in the teacup liquid, and see if I can follow Morgana.
So
I
she's
don't-
gone.
It's good. But you can try looking in the compact.
Sure, do that.
Mirror. Does anyone want to stop Mac before Mac does what Mac is going to do? Because Mac is going to have the jump on you on this. Because I don't know that anyone would have thought that Mac was going to pull this.
No.
I'm very protective. You're not going away.
Mac is gone. And now I'll come back to Morgana and Mac. But for the people on this side of the mirror,
So they're going into the Fey realm.
they are gone into the Fey realm. You think. They're definitely gone through the mirror.
Yeah, no, I'm saying that out loud. They're going to the Fey realm.
All right.
So does that mean we've got to go too?
You never have to do anything.
August will say
If we're
to
gonna
the room.
try to get them back,
So what are you guys doing? I'm glad you got sound back. Welcome back.
yeah,
So-
I was kind of waiting for that. So, River, did you
Case-
get everything?
Morgana was tricksy and took off her horseshoe and looked into her little makeup compact and was gone before August and Mac could stop her. Mac, seeing this, goes, not on my watch, basically, takes off his and picks up the compact, looks in it, and he's gone. To which then Nigel says, they've gone into the Fey realm. August says something along the lines of, does that mean we need to go? And Nigel says, well, if we want them back. My assumption is you do.
Well, yes. It was more a resigned sort of, really?
Oh, I mean, how else are you going to make them grandkids? Just saying.
Need to be married to someone first.
Well, I mean,
From
it's not-
August's point of view.
And some people thought you were married anyway, so it's
Well,
right.
yeah, apparently.
Before we try to go in, we go charging in. Let's try to keep together, at least make the attempt. Let's say August. If you want to take hold of the mirror, don't look in it just yet. Let's
Well,
clap.
I've still got my horseshoe on, so I won't take it off until you tell me.
That's fine. Well, yeah, just kind of point the mirror down and away for the moment.
Sure.
Let's clap a hand on each other's shoulders, when we take the horseshoes off, and then hold the mirror up so it kind of looks at all of us at once. Let's see if we can at least keep ourselves together.
Sure.
sounds like a plan. I'll come back to you guys. Morgana. So you are in the most well, it's a bit of a confusing sight. Part of you says it looks like Alice in Wonderland's Mad Hatter's Tea Party. And part of you says it's an abandoned warehouse. And all of you says it's icky and gory and why is there blood? Why? On top of there being this blood, there are these creatures like all over this place, like a swarm of them. And they're a horrific version of a doormat is probably the closest you can come up with. And the tea party seems to be set up at multiple tables, which is slightly different. But it doesn't take you long to catch on that there seems to be one who has a gap white ruffled collar at a head table, very reminiscent of a judge. And then there seems to be like a bunch of them at tables around and some just scattered all over. And then there seems to be two more tables, which you think might be, this might be a courtroom. And the one with the gavel at the front looks at you and says, defense and prosecution.
Morgana will, of appearing and taking in her surroundings, uttered a word quietly to herself that would probably have her mother tell her off. And then, when addressed, will look at that. Would, I think, depend what the case is.
You smell like us a little. Are you the murderer? Did you murder Mother?
I have murdered nobody.
So defense or prosecution? Whose witness are you?
I think that is yet to be determined, Your Honor.
You must choose.
So this is for the trial for the death of Mother.
Yes.
Then I fancy I would be a witness for the defense.
Tisk. Tisk. Tisk.
It is not fully your place as the judge.
Join in. And so this tisk is just getting kind of louder to the point where it hurts your ears. It's kind of booming. And then the floor drops out from under you. I'll come back to you. Mac.
Yes.
You find yourself in, I mean, it reminds you a bit of like a restaurant freezer, but they should have some violations and be closed down because this is gross.
Okay.
And it's icky and there's blood and there's boxes and strangely enough you don't actually see a door. The one thing you would think that this thing would have would be a door, but no, that would be too easy. And
All right.
there's a plate and a cup. I won't call either of these terrifyingly clean. But the cup seems to be some sort of cup of tea, and the plate seems to have scones, biscuits, cookies, whatever you want to call them.
All right.
Treats.
Morgana always said don't eat the food of the Fae, so that's out. Looking around, there's no obvious exit with awareness. Can I make an awareness text or something?
Absolutely make an awareness test.
All right, you can do that. Oh gosh, 6 and a 1. I'm going to reroll the 6. And I get a 5, so it's a total of 12.
You do not see I think that
There's-
that's actually really yes. So for people listening, Brad has put something in that Matt wasn't even around for the Fae dying, so maybe that should help him feel a bit better. In some respects, it probably does. In other respects, it might not. Because what I feel like Mac doesn't want is to be locked up in this box until the trial's over.
Yeah.
It would be very frustrating for Mac.
Yeah.
All right.
But I wouldn't know that this is the trial related to that anyway.
Yeah,
I just
you have
know
no
that
idea that the
I'm
Fae are
just-
messing with
Yeah, the Fae are messing with me. I would like to clutch Gren's crucifix that she gave me and just slam the frick into the walls.
you. Okay.
Is
You
everything
do.
whole?
Everything's holding.
Ceiling, floor. Troll in a box is not happy. Nothing is working.
Nope.
Say screw it and eat the scone and drink the tea.
Strangely, what you didn't expect is that nothing seems to occur. You don't feel any different. You haven't shrunk or grown. They're not the best you've ever had. They're a bit stale. The tea's a little cold, tepid.
Oh,
But-
nothing worse.
No, there's things that are worse. There really are. But no harm has befallen.
All right, so I'm trapped in a box. I've tried all of the options. It's going to take intervention from outside is the vibe I'm getting for the story.
It has to. There's always things. That's all I'm going to say.
All right,
However, I'm putting you on hold for a second.
sure.
Nigel and August and River have all kind of held onto each other and dropped the cold iron and looked in the mirror. You guys are in a courtroom. You see Morgana pretty quickly. Oh no, you don't see Morgana because she fell out the floor. So you see what looks like a very odd Mad Hatter's horror. Do you guys remember American McGee did an Alice in Wonderland game? Think that, but worse. Feel,
Oh, joy.
but somehow in like what kind of feels like an abandoned warehouse, but also seems to be set up like a courtroom, including but not limited to the ruffled monster. And you guys have seen pictures. I don't know if we've ever shown the pictures kind of outside of the group, but it's these horrific, icky little dormouse
Right.
things. And one little for a dormouse, gigantic. But comparatively to most of you, they are small. They're probably maybe up to 2 foot tall if they're on their hind, if they're upright. And I actually really liked that game. It was a really fun game.
It was creepy as all.
I
Yeah.
I like creepy sometimes. So
Yeah.
I have
I've still
this
got
one.
a copy.
If I can I make this saved and send it to you guys? Hold on.
Yay.
I was playing with that evil thing that hates me, known as AI art. And it hates me so.
Yeah, you said that to us last time. It should be in the back scroll. Oh, these are new ones. Oh wait, no, that's
Stuff. This is new. Because I was trying to get a kind of some images to give you at least a bit of a feel for the area. And I have failed miserably on getting it to do what I wanted. But I even went and tried a different one because this one kept doing things like I said, but gorier. And it said, we believe that that doesn't meet our community guidelines. Go away. Yeah, you could have also probably seen some, Brad, that you're going, oh gosh, dear goodness,
yeah.
no.
No,
Why?
I can see the back scroll.
Yeah, that's for a later story. You're welcome. Brad's not thrilled, but that's okay. So these horrific little dormouse monsters, but there's one who seems to be up in the front and he has a white ruffle and he has a gavel and he looks at you and he points at Nigel. Did you murder Mother?
I have murdered no one.
Defense or prosecution?
Defense.
Who? And basically, it's almost like a trap door opens up and Nigel is gone. Looks at August, points at August. Did you murder Mother?
I don't believe so.
And its head tilts. And when it tilts just too far. Normal heads don't tilt in that angle.
Yay.
Doesn't end. Did you murder Mother?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Defense or prosecution?
Defense.
Trapdoor, you're gone.
Yay.
And then these cold little beady black soulless eyes look squarely at River. Then you must have murdered Mother.
Is it murder when she attacked first?
The crowd around you seems to explode and basically saying that you admitted it. And the gavel strikes. Order. We are civilized. Mother sees that we are civilized. There will be order. And he points at you with that gavel. He, she, it. Creepy little monster. And points to a table. Sit. Now, Mac, all of a sudden, Morgana kind of falls and do a dex save. Dex roll, Morgana. Anything that's acrobatic so you don't land on your tush.
Give me a second.
I have athletics, climbing, sprint, stealthy stride, and swimming.
This is just
And
Morgana,
awareness.
I believe.
Oh,
Well, he has a point. He can try to catch Morgana, but I figured we let Morgana try to on her own first. But
well,
Mac
I would.
absolutely
What Mac's
intervene.
instinct would be to catch her, and then try.
I didn't
But
know if
also
we
try
were
to
all
keep the
showing
trap
up at the
door-
same time or not.
No, it'll be one
What-
at a time, basically.
Morgana will get a 7 to attempt to land gracefully.
Mac, why don't you roll one of those?
Okay, so I'll roll athletics to try to catch her, but I'd also
Awesome.
like to somehow jam the trapdoor open for escape. But let me roll the first catcher thing. And on that, I rolled a 6.
Between the 7 and 6, I'm going to say you catch her. But as far as this trapdoor, what trapdoor? I don't know what you're talking about. She just
Can I make a
fell out of the
willpower test to try to see through the illusion to where the door was in the ceiling?
You can try, but you're assuming that in the Fey realm it's an illusion and not just magic.
Mm. He's more bull in the china shop at this point. He is not
That's
happy at being shoved in the box. He's
No, I
gonna beat.
you would be.
Yeah, he just very gracefully channels his rage into punching the shit out of the ceiling. And
Yeah.
I got a 7. Oh, sorry, a
Okay.
7 on a willpower, but his strength is a lot better if you want something for punching in strength.
No. There's no I totally Morgana, he puts you down and then he's punching the ceiling like an enraged bull in a china shop.
I'm not sure that's helping, my dear.
It's making me feel better.
I'm not sure the headache will make either of us feel better.
Yeah, fair enough. I start to pile up some boxes and junk from this room, and get up by that ceiling and really give it a good once over. I have a feeling there may be more incoming, and I want to be ready and prepared for the next strike.
Okay.
We're
You
gonna
have a
see if you can find a way out of here.
I
Well-
will say to Mac, did you follow me here or did you come here on your own accord? It appeared to have arrived in. I
No-
arrived in the
no-
courtroom.
No one in my squad is left behind, and they only get to them through me. I jumped through that mirror right after you.
My apologies. I'm not sure what came over me.
It's Fey magic.
I unfortunately may be susceptible to such things.
Mm.
All right.
Do I have other iron on me? I was carrying a lot of stuff. Or did I have to drop it all to get it through?
You have to drop it all together.
All right, never mind.
Now, any weapon you had on you, as River may be counting bullets, technically they're not cold iron you got to keep. Didn't seem to affect your movement. Shortly after, Morgana's like, I landed in a courtroom.
Hey, wait a minute. Did the parrot come with me? Because the parrot was on my shoulder.
I'm going to let you call it high or low, my friend.
Hi.
You saw the parrot in the courtroom. However, you are next full into the box. But the parrot is not with you in the box.
Okay, but the parrot came with to the Fey realm.
The parrot is in the Fey realm, and the parrot is in the courtroom.
Okay.
Last you see. Why not? So all of a sudden, Brad, your character Nigel is falling. Yes, you've been falling for a whole half hour, but not. Do you
I
have
have been falling for 30 minutes. Sorry, what?
That meme has been shared.
Oh, has it? Cool.
that was yes.
Cool. I've got my back to the screen at the moment. 'Cause
Oh,
I'm
fair
really
point.
dark.
So Nigel, do you have some sort of athletics, acrobatics to not fall on your butt?
I can make a dex roll.
Okay, good. That
Let's
works.
see.
Can I assist with that since I was at the ceiling and getting all this
I-
junk set up?
I don't know that it's going to be necessary because I'm on 2 roll-ups so far. I got 25.
Oh, sweet.
You to assist, and you're like, wow, Nigel
Well-
has this. I'm impressed.
Actually, if I'm up near the ceiling when he comes through, I'm going to jam something into the trapdoor.
Doesn't work that way.
I
It's
tried.
not really for. Feels to them like they fell through a trap, but it's not really.
May I make a climbing test to try to get into the chute?
There's not really a chute. Literally, it's just magic. It's as if a
It's up
magic
in there.
long enough to out. You. It's not a physical thing that you can interact with. It's
Can
literally.
I try to jump through when it opens up?
I think they're just appearing rather at the top of the room rather than appearing through something.
Yeah, that's the impression I get. It just opens up when
Yeah.
they come through, and then there's nothing to suggest it was there.
Yes.
Once we're through, is the impression I get.
What is there anything shiny in this room? Or there's the teacup saucer, right?
Not
It's
here.
dirty.
That was. Oh, you had that in the box.
It was sitting on the box.
I I can clean it with the edge of my coat or something, and I can pour something from one of the canteens in my go bag into it to make a reflective surface, and I have a candle to generate light to generate the reflection.
Mac, once I see
yeah.
him doing that, Mac, you're trying to make a mirror, aren't you?
Yes.
This may work better. Morgana will fiddle with a chunky snake bracelet she tends to habitually wear and remove the blade that is hidden inside it, because I have a snake rapier, so it's a blade folded round inside a chunky bracelet, and that should be fairly well polished.
All right. Let's all hang on. Do you want to wait see if anybody else shows up, or do you want to try to go, see if mirror magic works on the thing right now?
It's
That would
not
seem
gonna
wise.
work. That we're in their realm. We're playing by their rules.
Their rules.
Yeah. I'm just trying, man.
Starts falling through.
But all right, so I'm back in the courtroom now, correct?
So you're in
First-
the box with Mac
Oh, okay.
and Morgana. And as you guys are discussing this, August starts to fall through. August, you got something to maybe not land on your butt. Mac, do you want to help intervene so that August
I
doesn't?
absolutely do, and I'm conscious of the open blade of the knife to make sure that he does not land upon it in a owie sort of way.
I will
Yeah,
make a
Morgana
dex
won't have
check.
pulled it all the way out, just for the moment.
And I got a 5 this time to assist.
I like these new dice of yours that you bought for me, Joel.
Oh, good. I'm glad they work.
I've just rolled. Step 7. Just rolled a 12 on a d12. Not as stylish as Nigel, but 16.
I already hate D6 or D8s. Why y'all make me hate? No, I'm kidding. So you, August, and again, much like Nigel, didn't necessarily need a lot of help because all of a sudden, August pulls out his badassery and is doing just fine on this landing. So you come down in what looks like some discussion with Mac and Nigel and Morgana and something about magic mirrors in their realm. That's what you walked into or fell into.
Andy, just so I can make a note of it for later, can I assume that when the troll was pissed off and trying to get out of the box, I went down and I shot it, I stabbed it, I kicked it, I unarmed combat it. I tried everything I could think of to get out of the box. I know it didn't work, but I can put ticks by those skills for advancement.
Absolutely, you can.
All right. Thank you.
We're very tick friendly here. Right, August? We're tick friendly. So yes. So now all of you are there. Seems like possibly Nigel saying, I'm not sure that mirror magic will work here. For a few reasons.
Maybe the way we get out.
We're not getting out till they're done with this trial.
Once they're done, it might be the way we get out.
Every escape room has a clue.
You didn't all have to follow me here, you know. Oh, I'm frightfully sorry, chaps.
When you say that, I just give him troll look.
Troll look. That's a thing now.
I'm
Don't
sorry, and I'm going to say this: Morgana is not as intimidated by a 9-foot troll as she is by her mother. So you've got nothing.
No, it's not an intimidating look. It's a seriously. You expect the bodyguard not to leap after you? Like, who have you been around?
Bad bodyguards. That's who.
Morgana's so far avoided bodyguards in her life.
So, all right. You'll notice that with tepid tea and looks like somewhat sweets have kind of popped in around the room, which the only person who probably understands that isn't in the room with you, because after a few moments you realize, wait a minute, someone's not here in the box with you guys.
Oh, where is River?
On what you guys were all asked, except for
Probably
Matt.
on trial.
River landed the
Matt.
killing blow.
Oh, marvelous.
All right. So, River, the judge, who was a dormouse creature, looks at you and says, call your witness. River, do you knowledge law?
No.
No. Okay.
Oh, I do, but I'm not River.
But you're not River. Nor are you psychically linked to River. River, you
This
can
is also true.
just a straight perception, knowledge type of thing, not awareness. And see if you can think of anything.
$23.
23. The first thing that pops into your head is that this is a trial and I'm on trial. Where's your attorney?
Where's what?
Where's your attorney?
Point of order: it would be a barrister in this in England.
I apologize. That's correct. Where's your barrister, your esquire, your legal representation?
Representation.
Yeah.
Where's my representation if you're putting me on trial?
It kind of looks kind of at the rest of them, and there's really, in truth, what kind of equates to rabble, rabble, rabble. Then the judge kind of stares back at you. You get representative. Name them. So it apparently wants you to name who it's going to be.
Oh, Morgana's the only noble that I know.
So you name Morgana?
Hope I'm right.
All right. Those of you in the box, Morgana just falls away.
I can I try to initiative and grab her shoulder before she disappears on me again?
I mean, you can try.
All right. Let's see. My initiative roll is 6 and 6. I'll roll those again. And I will add 6 more for 18.
Awesome. I'm going to say that you do. You end up back in the courtroom. The judge creature looks at you and goes, "You weren't called," and you fall through the floor and end up back in the boat. Morgana,
Yeah.
you have this wonderful brief moment of, "Oh, damn, where did Matt go?"
Yep.
And now you have a second where you can kind of look at River and be like, hopefully get some quick information out of River.
Yep.
I stand accused of murdering Mother.
Yes. Marvelous. And
And why am I here? Am I supposed to be on the witness?
I thought you might know law.
Really quick.
Morgana
There.
will say, I can see what I can do.
You don't have any law, but give me some sort of perception-based intelligence-y to procedures, law, anything you might have that you can add to it would be great.
I was
Otherwise-
just looking through my list. I have Secrets of the Aristocracy, Ancient History.
But I will give you secrets to the aristocracy because what you could, not telling you you have to, but what you could choose could fall close enough to that. So roll that.
Okay.
I've just put a note in the chat.
Oops, we'll look at the
That
chat.
might be relevant later.
A 13.
Okay. Very good. August, I will be right back with you.
That's a free skill.
I'll be right back with you.
No worries.
On a 13, here's the thing with Secrets of the Aristocracy. I'm going to tell you something that I'm sure will shock you. Did you know that rich people get away with shit? Not because they're in the right, not because they're not guilty, but because they know how to be tricksy. So
Money.
you need to outside the box and think about what it is you want to happen, and then think of ways to convince them. Because I'm going to give you that River tells you that she was like, "Where's my representation?" And they didn't seem to have any idea that that was something you got. So she got to name you as her representative. So currently, apparently, may or may not still be a witness, but you're also now her attorney.
Penny. Right.
Now, back to all, because you do have law and you rolled really well.
Yeah, he's just having a think as to basically how, if this were a standard English court case, what
So
are
the
the
first
steps? You know,
line-
that sort of thing, so that
feel like a standard case. This feels a
Mhm.
lot more like, for a lack of better terminology, children playing at court
right.
because they don't know all the rules, which is both a positive and a negative. If
Yeah.
we're making rules up, how do you get in on the making up the rules? Or are they the only ones who get to make up the rules? There's a little piece that you're missing, which is a couple of things, which I don't know that I should point out. River,
fine.
some sort of intelligence check real quick. Because we're
11.
going to 11. So we're going to go into chit chat. Like River says, this is what happened. And you're like, I went into a box and this is what happened, right? Including the tea and cookies which don't seem to have hurt anybody. River is going to, on that 11, connect that to when they got out of hand and the judge told them that we're civilized. Mother says we're civilized. So, whereas they are playing a game, sort of, they honestly are believing themselves to be civilized, sort of, if that makes any sense. So, those of you in the courtroom have a bit of information. Those of you not in the courtroom also have some information. It'd be really nice if you could find some reason to. And yes, by the way, Morgana, first impression and empathic sense. Empathic sense actually is good. So, empathic sense is going to reinforce this idea that they believe that they are being civilized because they think that having a trial for mother's murder is civilized.
Right.
So, weirdly, as much as this is very scary, very horrific, very twisted, they seem to have some sense of honor about doing it this way.
Excellent. So, Morgana is, once River has called me up, will, like, Your Honor, I would just like to first establish the laws in which my client is being tried under and the rules of this courtroom. You will forgive me, I've come here on very short notice and have not had time to properly prepare, which I can only apologize for, but it would be best if, for the proper procedures of this room, that I'm given that we briefly discuss the rules of your court, as it may differ from those I'm used to in England.
Which rules?
The nature and rules by which the trial must proceed, under what laws and what level of jurisdiction, and where the burden of proof lies.
Forward. It will proceed forward. That gets applause from the room, by the way.
Forward is excellent.
Applause. Forward.
Then I trust, of course, that in any sensible legal case we are proceeding forwards, and the laws of where the crime was committed will be held in a court. And I understand that as a judge you are no doubt completely familiar with all the laws of England and of London in particular, because you are clearly a well-educated rodent.
Our laws. And there's like a bunch of nodding going on. I will say in the chat room, for those of you who are listening to this, Drew's freaking hilarious. I love Drew. Self-defense, knowledge of Rat Pack law, taught by a Fae. I mean, all of those have merit. Be somehow trying to get them to do a trial by combat. This is also so cool. I will also give you this, Morgana. It doesn't take that empathic sense to realize that you are confusing them somewhat.
I can work with that.
And so he wraps his little gavel. Our laws and forward. You will call your witness. Make River try on the glove. Oh, Drew, you are a dude. Like, it's awesome.
Then I call Mr. August Ford to this courtroom.
Oh, God, sit at the other desk.
August,
In the real world.
find yourself on kind of raised, almost like a box put on one of the tables. Matter of fact, it's the defense table. And you are standing on the box. And basically, the little judge monster points his gavel at you and says, "Be honest, we'll know." And then he points back at Morgana as if somehow this magically portrays what he wants it to portray.
Yeah.
So in the chat says something on prosecution calls witnesses and provides evidence, defense rebutes and shows it's insufficient. Yeah, you act as if they actually know how courts work.
Don't worry, guys. Morgana has a plan for their lack of prosecution.
Which is also wonderful because there is a second table. There are even little horrific dormouse creatures over there, but they seem to be, sipping tea and throwing things at each other. So I don't know what exactly they're doing.
Morgana will flash August a grin. My dear August, this court case is, as we expected, dealing with matters that, as they fell out on the 5th of April, 1881, in London, the matter of our encounter with the creature these noble people call Mother.
He will nod and acknowledge.
Bang, bang, bang goes the gavel. Make it tell how she murdered our mother.
Case in point, Your Honor, no murder occurred on that day. Or not by the hands of the accused. If this court would have any authority, you must agree that its decision on this case is final, and we are here to establish the truth of the matter, as I'm sure you are.
Mother is gone. She admitted to killing Mother.
That does not make it murder, my lord.
Now there's like a rabble through, like, they don't actually seem to understand what you mean by that. Like,
Murder,
they're really confused at this.
murder would be unlawful killing.
We did not allow killing. You killed Mother. That's murder.
That is not, I'm afraid, the definition of murder, my lord. We are here to prove the nature of this case. If my witness may speak.
By your very definition, Mother is also a murderer, and so therefore should be posthumously on trial.
How? They're getting angry. How? It's almost a hiss. They are very angry that you called Mother a murderer.
Because your mother was influencing people in England to kill other people. That makes it
Food.
murder.
No. Not murder. Food.
Then this was also not murder because Mother attacked us and we defended ourselves against her.
There's a whoosh through the room. Did you eat Mother?
Let the record show that we did not eat Mother. It would not do our delicate mortal digestion any good.
Then is murder. Mother provides food. You killed Mother. Murder.
I was protecting my
Self-defense.
livestock.
Sorry, what was that?
I was protecting my livestock.
You will get a general sense of confusion at that.
She was
Not
hunting what is mine.
just a confusion.
Come on, that's good, right?
Yes, it is actually a possibility. Don't think I haven't thought of that. That's a possible answer, which is you killed Mother. Now you have to be Mother. I mean, it's a possibility. Now, do I think that this is a great idea? Well, in some respects, I'm an evil GM, so of course I do. Do the rest of you want River having a small horde of
Murderous.
dormouse? That I don't see you guys enjoying that so much, but
Depends what she did with them.
it's true.
Yeah, I'm sure Britain would deal well with talking mice that are being fed and reproducing like bunny rabbits in the sewers.
Well, being fed something very specific, though.
I hunt criminals.
As you can see, Your Honor, there is a lot of complication in this place, and we do need to clear that up before we proceed. You do want to do this properly, don't you?
Clear up how?
The very definition of murder is a question at the moment, and if, for example,
Said she did eat Mother. Murder.
no, allow me to establish some facts. If a goblin attacked you, and you, with your great skill, defeated the goblin and slew him, would that be murder?
She's a goblin.
No,
And again, you
I'm
get
using an example here. Please, just answer my question if you would.
is food is not a goblin. Food is not goblin.
No, I'm not saying it is, and we are not. We are not food. We are people.
No, you is food. We eat you.
Then the food will defend itself.
Yes, not if the food defends itself successfully. If
Mother
you
was
attack
trying.
some food and the food defeats you and you die, that is the food simply defending itself. That's nature's way, I believe.
So
Can I suggest spin this
Mother-
more from a position of power and authority, like another predator? I put the comment in chat, but I think calling yourself prey is not helpful in this sort of negotiation.
You're not in the room.
Let
I know
me
that
work.
was player talk.
Let me work. I'm trying to steer it around to my point of view, though I have a secondary plan B before trial by combat.
So the judge's question now is that was Mother trying to eat River?
Mother was trying to eat Members of River's pack.
But not River.
I'm sure she would have tried eventually. I think she tried to eat me. This did not end well for her because we are not prey. We can defend ourselves.
You
And-
get the general
and-
look of it doesn't seem to be necessarily blue, but it wraps its little gavel. New witness.
No, I have not finished with this one. You must allow me to finish and give up the thing. You're doing this terribly. Mother would be very disappointed. Should I run this trial for you? I obviously know what's going on here. You do not. You're dishonoring Mother deeply.
You're getting hissing noises, not just from the judge.
Do I fall through the ceiling?
Not yet.
Okay.
They seem to be allowing her to finish with the witness. You think?
Yay.
Finish. You talk too much. Witness, no talk. Finish.
You keep interrupting my witness before he's allowed to answer, if you would, August.
Does August remember the question?
No.
I was asking you to relate.
Well, actually, yes, he probably does, but the player doesn't.
I was asking you to relate the events of the day in question.
I'd kind of finished.
You didn't really give any detail of the events than the little bits, but I'm trying to buy for time here.
Yeah, I get that. Mother had influence a member of the populace of London to kill other members of the populace of London. And we were hired to investigate these murders because they were premeditated. And we went to investigate this, and we found that Mother was behind this. And so we tried to talk to her first, and Mother decided to attack us. So we defended ourselves. Mother died because she failed to defend herself properly, and we thought that was the end of that. And then
So
we find
you-
ourselves abducted and brought here.
So you mothered murder too.
No, I was defending myself against the attacks of Mother because she was trying to kill me.
Mother thought us harmless prey, and she was wrong in this. And thus she paid the price. This is the way of nature. As I said, we are not prey.
You are food. There's a bunch of heads nodding at this. You are food.
We are not
That's maybe.
food.
Do you put all of your food on trial if it kills one of you?
Didn't kill one of us, killed another.
Ah, yes. And you are not strong enough to feed yourselves?
Mother provides.
Obviously not well enough. I'm not quite sure why you have such strong loyalty to her.
You have caused gasping. New witness. And with that, I'll get some in the box.
Hang on, I'll roll a dex check. See if I can nail my superhero landing again.
You guys are actually nailing that pretty hardcore. So
Yeah, I did the first time.
Mac got a 6 on assist.
I got a 6.
I think with Mac's help, you managed to do pretty good.
Excellent. So I don't land on my head. That's good to know.
Now you have a brief moment to tell everybody in the box anything you want to tell them before, quote unquote, the next witness is called.
I will very quickly sum up because I have not empathic sense. I have eidetic memory. I know it's more for written things than it is for verbal stuff, but I will. August will attempt to sum up what the crack is upstairs.
Any questions from the other quote unquote witnesses? To August, I guess.
So they're children playing at court.
Yes, and they're very fixated on the fact that we are food, and because we killed Mother, we are murderers.
We need to play by their rules. I have an angle to go for.
Good luck.
And the judge looks at you and says,
I
wait.
call Nigel Fullmore to the stand, Your Honor.
And with that, Nigel falls away and lands on a box on the defense's table, standing in front of the court.
First things first,
looks-
do I see my parrot?
And says, "You will be truthful or we will know."
I said, first things first, do I see my parrot?
You absolutely see your parrot, which is kind of hanging out on like a light fixture up above.
Okay.
They don't seem to be harmful to it. I don't even know that they're noticing it so much. I mean, of course, they have to like notice it, but they're not interacting with it, I guess would be the best way to put it.
Okay. That's fine. I see it. So, because I might need that later. I have a backup plan.
Dun dun dun. Sorry, what?
Ask the witness.
Nigel, could you give me what you know of the events of April the 5th, when River was involved in an act of self-defense against the creature these beings call Mother, and they claim she was murdered?
In our world, there were killings that were occurring. We investigated the killings. We found Mother to be behind them. We found Mother had invaded another's home without permission. She was rude. She took over the other person and caused them to create these murders. Mother did not follow the rules of hospitality. Mother was confronted.
Gasping and hissing at calling Mother rude, saying she didn't follow hospitality.
This courtroom should not be offended by the truth.
The judge literally just hisses at you.
Judge, you said you would know if I lied. Have I lied?
Continue. Answer question.
As I said, Mother did not follow the rules of hospitality. She was confronted for it. She attempted to avoid punishment for not following the rules. We defended ourselves when she tried to avoid punishment.
Why make you think Mother follow your rules? Mother follow our rules.
Our world, our rules.
And is it not the proper rules to follow the rules of whose house you're in?
So this happened in a house.
She invaded someone's house, yes. And our world is our home. This world is your home.
Prove. Mother only goes into houses that invite. Prove otherwise.
Mother did not ask permission to enter our house, and we had provided defense against her. When she tried to force entry, she failed, and that is when the matter we are discussing here occurred.
Or house.
Sorry, what was that, Andy?
So Mother died in your house.
Mother died outside our house after trying to force entry without our permission.
Not the same.
But the crime committed on our soil, so it was our place, so our rules are the ones that apply.
No. Not yours. Like,
And the Queen's rules.
do something at the prosecutor's table. A shoe, a book, something. The gavel. What's it called? What's it called? And he demands at them. And one of them like elbows another one who wakes up and goes, renters. Renters, you renters. Not owners. Renters. And then looks at Joe and goes, that makes a difference, yes?
Renters still have a home. It's proper and correct to follow the rules of someone's home.
Blows
And
yet another thing at the prosecutors. He goes, and just kind of gestures like, is that right? And they kind of shrug as they're not actually sure that the distinction means what they think it means.
What are the rules of your home?
We win and says we don't. It's a good rule. We like it.
So the strong decides who wins in your home?
No, we win unless Mother says we don't.
But Mother's the strongest.
They kind of shrug at that, if
so-
that may or may not be actually true. Or they haven't thought about it, you're not really sure. But yes, out of context, whispering at the table. River says something along the lines that I will go back in for the audience. Leans over to Morgana. Should we just see if they'll go for combat? And Morgana says back to her, maybe, but there's a lot of them. And Drew is absolutely correct with but he's not there. But if he was there, his very heavy thoughts to you guys are, but we would need an exit strategy to get the heck out of the Fey realm. It's a very good thing to point out. But
One thing
this
at a
is
time.
not could hear this, and I will realize this. Is Mother stronger than all of them? I don't know that was ever tested, so they don't have an answer. But notice that it wasn't one of them is right, it's they are right, unless Mother says otherwise. So you're getting kind of a pack group thought vibe from that. I'm not sure if it helps you any, but you're getting this feel.
It is simple. The rules that apply were the rules of whoever owned the land. The owner of that land is our queen. She will not be at liberty to come to this courtroom. We will act as her representatives here, though we would point out that by strength of arms and skill, we defeated Mother.
So
Would you put Mother on trial?
proof?
What was that, sorry?
So you want combat to prove?
I think the underlying question here is the one who's strongest makes the rules, because Mother's the strongest and makes the rules for your group. Is that correct?
We never fought Mother. We don't know.
But she was strongest, and she was in charge.
She was in charge, but we don't know she was strongest. We fight Mother. Mother provides.
She was strongest because she provides.
This seems to have confused them.
And we
They're not provide. So you provide, and then you make rules. They're pointing at you, Nigel.
Are you proposing a trade?
Trade?
Deal. Bargain.
Deal. Bargain. What is proposed deal? Bargain trade.
It is. I am asking, are you proposing if we provide, then we make rules? Is this what you're saying?
Now there is a whole lot of, again, it boils down to, for what you guys are hearing, a lot of rabble, because they're like discussing it. You're just not sure you can pick out enough of it to follow the discussion.
How about we do one better? I teach you how to hunt and provide for yourselves, and you let us go home and leave us alone.
We don't hunt on that side. Mother goes to that side. We don't go to that side. We're not strong on that side.
You don't need strength to hunt.
To make food, you do.
Lay traps.
There's traps. There's picking your targets. There's knowing what to hunt, when to hunt, where to hunt.
River, to all make a intelligence-esque check. Perception, intelligent-based check.
9.
9. Nigel and Morgana?
A 10 from Morgana.
1 second here. This is straight perception, not like awareness?
This is definitely a thought thing, so not awareness.
Okay.
Unless something like diplomacy would apply.
I will let you throw your diplomacy at it.
Yeah. No, if we can turn it into negotiation, that works much better for me.
I'm almost always easy.
I got a 10.
Okay.
Give me a moment. You'll be glad to know one of my d10s rolled a 1, but the other two dice both maxed, so that's 17 so far. 25, 31, 36.
Okay. Morgana is a revenge angle, and she didn't eat people or take the blood from just anybody. There
Yeah.
had to be a revenge aspect. So just simply killing something and taking its blood is not going to work. So there is a very good chance that they can't create the revenge aspect that's needed to make humans food. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So part of the confusion is probably that they don't understand how they can create the revenge aspect because they don't have those abilities, most likely. Thus, they need mother.
Or people already experiencing those emotions.
Right.
Oh my god, I'm about to go for them jobs in the prison service.
I mean, the prisons are getting overpopulated.
No, they're not. We
About
keep
that.
sending them to Australia.
In the US.
The
but
Grove now.
Yeah.
Australia, yeah, they totally just ditch those things.
I'm pretty.
So they're confused because what they're trying to communicate, and you have kind of caught on, is that they can't.
So it is that you cannot feed yourselves and you need someone you feed off vengeance? Justice? I
Feel
think you need some
that
lessons in that.
you can almost feel the from the whole crowd. Like it's almost an energy that you could almost taste. And then there's almost in the back, hungry. And the judge throws something at whoever it was in the back. Whaps upside the head. It hisses at the judge hisses back, and then points back to you people. How deal? And then before you can really say anything, it strikes the gavel, and all of you are now back in the box. And there's and again, it looks like it's in blood on the wall. Make offer.
So Morgana will explain what she'd worked out to everyone else about them needing something else. They appear to feed off the act of revenge.
And with that, you guys go on the box and can discuss what, if anything, you will be offering.
Yeah.
I also feel, and Matt can correct me on this, that when you get there, there's a very, very angry, pissy troll who is very tired of Fey Realm crud.
It did River come to the box with us?
At this point, Mac would be more gone into like meditation and stuff. He's not a pissy, angry dude. He's very clear once things get to the point where he can no longer contribute that he would just go into meditation.
Okay. Yeah, River's there. All of you are there. You're all in the box. To which there seems to again be liquid tea and stale cookies of some form. And again, a message on the wall that just says "Make offer."
But, by the way, nobody eat their food.
Mac already did.
Oh dear.
So, as said, Morgana will explain what she'd worked out about them needing. They seem to feed off the act of revenge, but they can't. Either they can't create that emotion and feed off it themselves directly, or they need Mother to feed it off them and then feed it back to them like baby, like a mother bird
Well, it seemed like they
feeding a baby bird back.
They said that they weren't strong in our realm, so like they weren't able to influence it.
Yes.
Do they know about the war?
Probably not.
Let's just point them at the war. There's going to be plenty of people fighting for feelings of revenge there.
What, we offer them jobs and they get to feed off the violence in the combat?
Well, if we direct them to it,
How are you going to control them?
We pointed at a thing and let it go.
They agree to work for the food. That's the offer. We're offering
we don't
them...
even have. They don't even have to work. We just show them where it is.
Again, say that they don't seem to be interested in going to the other side. I mean, I could be wrong. You can always try, but they did imply quite heavily that Mother goes to the other side. They don't.
Yeah.
They're strong there. And there is also the idea that, I don't know, like you can always try. I don't know that simply saying there's a war over there, go get them, Tiger, is probably going to count as feeding them.
Well, they wouldn't even necessarily have to like manifest. They could just be there in the astral, so still technically in their realm, just to know where to draw from the feelings.
But can they feed from the astral, or does Mother bring food back to them? You
Mother
might
bring
see
it back to them.
options.
Well, because either way, we can't just bottle up feelings of revenge and bring it to them. We don't have that ability.
I can certainly
we
bottle
have
up my
the
feelings
recipe.
from time to time.
Hey guys, I've got an idea. I'm just kind of typing it out in chat. But the gist of it is a Fey pact. Something like when a human within the city limits of London calls out 3 times for the rats of revenge, attaches a mirror to the target of their revenge, and agrees to give up their life in the balance, the rats can open a Fey portal, drag the mirrored person to the other side, swarm and eat both, and after they have fed, they must shatter the mirror and close the portal.
That
You're saying we
seems
create an urban myth for them?
that seems
Sorry, what?
overly complicated for what these things are capable of reasoning.
Well, I'm just thinking like, it's Mary Malone in the mirror kind of thing, but that would give an outlet for social justice for a lot of poor people. They could call on the rats of revenge, and they would have to be so desperate they give up their lives. So there's a high threshold to keep crazies from doing it more than once, and then they get their food.
I think the Grail Knights had something to say about that.
Yes.
Do they have to know?
Well, they will when people start doing it.
They don't have to know you're involved with it. I'm not encouraging Drew, but I like his outside the box.
Oh, absolutely.
That seems
Um,
way
That was
overcomplicated
the
for what these
character.
things are capable of. They're
Could
they're
they
very
create...
simple.
They can follow directions, obviously. I mean, they're technically, in their own way, trying to still follow Mother's rules, even though Mother is gone.
More kind of...
You just don't know exactly what Mother's rules are.
Could we
But, you know,
could
they're
we
trying.
propose a rule where anybody who anyone that we bring to justice who dies that they can feed on our acts of bringing people to justice? Would that be possible?
Anything's possible.
I don't know that it's justice as much as it is revenge.
The line
Yeah.
is fair enough, and I'm not sure they understand the distinction. I'm pretty sure where River is
between-
concerned, I think the emotions may be close enough.
I will say there's a very thin line between the two.
Hey, that's an
Honestly,
offer that
I'm
they get.
fine with challenging their champion.
You assume they have a champion and they don't have their board.
Yeah,
What,
they
so we
very
give them
much
the
seem to be
choice?
just
We
swarm
got
the-
tactics.
When you were in the courtroom, did they say anything about how Mother provided the food or any details there? Because that seems to be a sort of squishy point in my mind anyway. I just
They
don't know.
seem to imply that Mother bought it back for them. So I think she was collecting the essence of the act, the essence of the emotion, I suppose, and bringing it to them. Whether that's just something she can do or a particular form of magic, I don't know.
May I make a suggestion?
Mm.
Mother definitely was taking the blood. She was also trying to step this up to a more mass scale.
Unless she was collecting the blood, Morgana will say.
That maybe Mother had more milk, which would explain the need to have more of it. But she was, you guys will clearly remember, there was never enough blood at any of the crime scenes except for there was a rare one at the very beginning where there was a lot of messy blood.
And we were
But the
thinking she would, yeah, we were thinking she was drinking it, but that doesn't mean that's what happened.
Exactly. She could be taking the blood back. You could also see if you could clarify that. Nothing says you can't ask another question.
So that transforms the target to be, to my mind, to be one of two primary matchups. One of which is the slaughterhouses are miserable in London in this era. If all of that misery and blood could be put out for the Fae, like they do with dishes of milk, but for the rats, as some sort of ongoing stream of food in exchange for them not taking random kids from the slums. That might be a way to do it. Another way is to just target them at the sort of people that are causing misery and just revenge. So,
And sending them their blood.
well, or just saying, have them drawn across, because they can do teleportation via the mirrors. We know that. Drawn across and killed. Dormice. I'm changing it to be Dormice of Doom.
Dormouse. There you go. Dormice for Earth Justice, yeah. I mean, none of these are bad ideas. It's just a matter of which idea you want to go with. I will say there's a very good chance that they're feeding blood. I will also say that I'm not sure that animal blood will work.
Yeah.
Whether it's
What can I say?
justice or vengeance, that really is a thin line. So I don't know that that's such a gap that it can't be passed, right? How you're getting it to them, I mean, if it's basically served up on a platter, they should be able to pull it through if they can pull you through.
I was thinking if we put it onto a mirror, that would probably work.
Well, or just a dish that has a shiny surface. There's plenty of those around.
Yes. And deeply preferable to my makeup compact. Let me.
There is also, other than the fact of how you could try slaughtering all of them. I'm just saying. Could be fun.
Well,
But
okay.
I have
So
the compact track
one of the
Six-
titles of a justice is a deemster. So I like deemster dormice. Is that okay with everybody?
I like that. Deemster dormice. You get an extra 100 AP for that, Drew. I like that.
Yay! Everybody gets more stuffs. So if we want to have it like a targeted revenge thing, then I guess it would be like the person for the ritual would get a shiny plate, put a little of their blood in it, and then tag the perp with a mirror and let the Deemster dormice do their thing and feed, taking them both away, but they would give their lives to take out a bad thing if it's that desperate. So it should minimize the splash. Thoughts?
I'm not sure we should release an idea like that out into the world. It would probably encourage them and being potentially incredibly dangerous. I think some sort of deal between ourselves and them might work.
Sorry, first for listening in. Garage announced his backup plan. It's going to point to the judge and
Point to the judge and say cat. All right.
Well, that's not a bad
I'm
plan.
I'm just trying to be something that wouldn't require River to be around forever in London feeding the rats.
Oh, we just don't feed them.
We never find them suitably.
Well, but we gotta figure out a way back from here.
Yeah, there's that exit from the Fey Realms thing we talked about. That's an issue.
I mean, you could go on walkabout until you figure one out. Is a feasible thing to do. I don't know if it's what you want to do, but it technically is something that you could do. You could kill them all and look for a different pathway out.
No, I wasn't necessarily suggesting that. I was just suggesting that we don't feed them. Because we don't need to encourage them.
Okay.
And what deal do we offer them to let us go?
We offer to feed them regularly.
Well, if you want to take a different approach, and again, I'm just sort of thinking about the problem, which is the gavel of the judge appears to be some sort of symbolic item for them. And
yes.
It does control the trapdoors. At least behind unless he was tapping a certain spot on the desk, then maybe it's the desk. So
they're magical in nature. They just this is their realm. They can just control the stuff.
I was thinking of grabbing gavel and declaring myself judge, I must admit.
I like it. I don't say it's going to work, but I like it.
Yeah, I'm just picturing you with a wig. Just so you know.
You know, there was the comment earlier of someone becoming the new mother. You could just assume the mantle, tell them you're mother and that they've been very naughty and they need to go to bed.
I will say this in response to River. Telling them that you're going to feed them with no intention of actually feeding them is probably the possible plan.
Yeah, that would be bad. You don't
And
bring
then
deals
also
with the Fae.
Never ends well. Yeah.
I have every intention of feeding them regularly. Once a millennia is regularly. I'll leave directions to my descendants to do so.
Her, that's probably going to go very poorly because it's a dishonesty. Just saying that one would probably go the least well for you guys. Like, have you considered that yelling cat or going on walkabout? All of these are much better plans than that one.
We could always offer them the blood of somebody who definitely deserves vengeance.
Well, that's a variation on the theme. I like that too. But that's a one shot. It's not an ongoing stream of food, which is what they're looking for.
Well,
Then
then
there's
they have
some
to sort them.
strange negotiation between getting us out
We're-
of here and what they want.
There is a
I'm-
never-ending stream of people who probably could deserve a bit of vengeance. Like, there's a bunch of bad people in London.
Yeah, but then
You would not
that becomes our job to do.
Yes,
That-
I was thinking for our freedom, we offer them one particular person.
So I was going to say, Drew, I kind of like Drew's idea. Then it's not your problem, and yet they get fed. Saying?
And it's a high threshold for people to call on the Deemster Dormice to pass judgment. You know, they're giving up their own lives as a self-sacrifice.
However, at the same time, I will also say that in the rest of them, and they're not thinking that this is great. Can you imagine if the Knights of the Grail found out that that's the deal you made?
And yeah,
I have all sorts of problems with this.
I have both in-character problems with the releasing a method of summoning Fae to commit vengeance on opening it up to anybody in London to do it, and as a player, I'm going to think, I'm not handing any of that. I'm really not. You know, from the metagaming perspective. Sorry to metagame here, but it's
So
there.
mean. So mean.
Andy, go. Well, successes are rare. Made us worried about that sort of thing. So.
Hey,
Well,
I'm all for
how
you.
about Pied Pipering on a schedule, like on the solstice in this world that you've returned us to, we will agree to have someone deserving of revenge brought to you. But that gets into human sacrifice crap. I don't want to do that as a piece.
No, we could.
because- No, we don't want to be giving in to their demands to be fed, because
Yes.
that's just, they dragged us here.
And if we do it once, they'll keep dragging us back.
Exactly. So, and the Grail Knights will really not be happy if if we do this thing where we call on these
Only if they find out.
dormice to come and it will get back to them, because
With our luck.
it always does.
All
And
right,
I
so
really don't like
I
the
hear
idea of
you.
actually pandering to them to give
We
them
don't-
food. They should
This is-
not be in, if they're not strong enough to be in our realm to eat, that's not our problem, that's on them.
I agree with the boundary statement, and I also agree with we don't negotiate with terrorists kind of attitude. So then we just have to fight our way free. Negotiation has failed. That's okay. We'll go from there and make new characters if we have to.
The other option would be to offer
That was
them...
an in-character discussion, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other option
Because
might be...
August is not happy with this whole, and people who know him well will be picking up on that.
Okay. So what it comes down to, we can make the offer a one-on-one duel, trial by combat.
Only I don't think it's going to be a one-on-one duel. It's going to be one-on-horde duel.
But we make that the rules.
We make it
Yes.
so one on
That
one.
in order for honor to be satisfied, it's a one-on-one duel.
Except I will say this. If it's a one-on-one duel, then they get to use all of their Fey abilities. Because otherwise, it's not really a fair fight. they're a third of your height. Weigh like what? 20 pounds? 30 pounds, maybe?
We name
40.
They and
Yeah, I got shotgun.
River, the accused, can name a champion. And we do it in a, we try and make it so that it's as fair a fight as possible. For both
Okay.
sides.
Okay, hang on.
Put that-
Hang on. I got it.
Okay.
We do need to call one, though, to see if this would work. So I'm going to call out, can I ask a question? And see if I can get one of them to show up.
Well, you get writing on the wall, yes.
I will take out the revolver that I got from Mark. This was a weapon of a man who was involved in a revenge plot with people who had wronged him. Would giving this as a symbol to connect, with the connection to his revenge, would that be sufficient? Can you feed on this?
That is a good question, and I have not thought of that. I would say if it was on the other side, no. But
No,
since
but
it's on this,
but yeah, I brought
But
it
it's on-
with.
yeah, I know. I had not considered that. All right, dude, you get a high or low.
Tie.
Yes. They can feed off of the gun.
Can I leave this with you in exchange for our freedom? And consider the matter settled.
No. Can offer because there's no mother, no food. One food. What do we do later?
Can we send you similar items as we find them once we have finished completing the justice on the person we took them off?
Yes.
Then I glance to the others, and then so not addressing the wall. That seems like a good deal to be offering. I can live with sending things to these people, and it's not like we're not going to come across stuff like this ongoing, and we can have a few words and possibly, as we have favors, get hold of a few other bits of unnecessary things like linked to vengeance.
Things is much better than people. But I'm still not keen, but things are better than people.
People.
Well, you guys have come up with a very, very cool solution. I had not considered this as a solution. I love it. I will say I'm sort of disappointed that we're not going on a murder spree and then going on out in the Fey realm.
Hey, there's a first for everything. The answer was not to shoot it.
What?
But the answer was still gun.
I was going to say the answer was still something that has been shot.
Wait.
This just means we're going to have a high turnover of weapons of people that River has shot.
Brad,
Oh my
you
god, I'm
also
going
got AP because yes, the answer was still gun.
Wait, how much?
An extra 100. Come on, that's yeah. The answer was still gun, not shooting it, but gun. That is awesome. I
Well,
didn't know how you guys.
It sucks because that was a good gun.
It was a good gun, but it's a fantastic solution. It's very outside the box thinking. I love it. I think you guys did great. I'm very impressed. Because this was a hard one. Like, there weren't going to be super easy answers for this. But I like this. This is very cool. So you are offering that as the solution.
Yes.
You will send some item connected to vengeance that they can feed off of,
Yes.
but not people.
Not
Yeah.
people, and only once we have no longer needing the item, because sometimes we're going to need it for evidence. In court, and they respect courts.
Well, I guess they can. This is very cool.
And God damn it, I just got firearms.
Don't worry, you can borrow from River.
Morgana will pat it. Morgana will pat Nigel on the forearm. Don't worry, dear. I'm sure I can buy you a nicer gun.
See? Oh. All right. So with the deal made, you literally end up back in the courtroom, all of you, Mac included. And they got like the gun on a silver platter, but again, like everything else here, it's kind of gross, and let's just call that speckled with something, but we won't discuss that. It's most likely some sort of viscera. And they go,
Nice.
goodbye, mother. And you end up back in the parlor at the office.
River has a new
Was the-
title.
Was the goodbye mother directed at River or Morgana?
Or the
At
gun.
all of
Oh,
At all of you. You're collectively mother.
wonderful.
I'm so sure August is thrilled. August just
Oh,
wants to go.
absolutely.
That's how August wanted kids, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Totally. Yeah.
August is like, you know what I really want? I want a horde of
Demon
evil
Dormice.
that feed vengeance. Oh, but still no heart.
Yep. Yep. Definitely.
Hey, Morgana, you can tell your mom you're a mother now.
Yeah, she's going to love those children. That
She
being
should start.
said,
There should be booties.
sending them to her to be cared for over the summer would probably do those dormice wonders, and they'd probably be whipped into shape and much more useful afterwards.
Either that, or it's going to leave them, leave Morgana and siblings orphans.
So when you come back into the room, the very first thing that happens is Mrs. Price drops her teacup and it hits the floor. Thankfully, it's carpet. It wasn't that far of a fall.
Okay, well, she's still alive, so that's a good sign. How long has it been?
Did you ask her how long has it been?
How long since we disappeared?
You disappeared. And she blinks at you.
Okay. That could have gone very bad, because we could have ended up years later.
Also feasibly true. But she doesn't even know that you left. You can check the clock, because I'm sure there's a grandfather clock somewhere in here. And if you've been gone maybe a minute, if that. You're not even sure you've been gone that long. Like literally all of this happened in the blink of an eye. So you went somewhere.
Are all the mirrors still gone?
They're still, yeah, she didn't bring them back in the house. They're still outside.
We've made arrangements for the Fae to leave the mirrors alone here in the house now.
Maybe we'll just buy some new ones. Those can stay outside. We'll get some new mirrors.
Yeah.
If one of you goes out and mirrors outside, looked like they were bleeding at some point, which is probably why she took them all out of the house.
Oh, yeah, because that's what we were going to do, and then we
Yes.
decided to.
So you never
Uh,
first, but that would be why she was so freaked out. You guys all went to get, cold
what
iron.
time of
The
day
mirror.
is it?
What's up?
What time of
What
day
time
is it?
It's probably lunchtime. You guys showed up first thing in the
Excellent.
morning or so. You went out. Even if that took a little bit of walking time and coming back, it's probably only been a few hours. So I would say it's got to be, what, noonish?
Excellent. Morgana will offer to take everybody out for a large and pleasant lunch on the grounds that she did accidentally drag everyone into that situation before we were properly prepared, and she's frightfully embarrassed about all of that.
Morgana,
Uh,
you should check your pockets.
Morgana will check her pockets. Well, actually, it's actually little things hanging off her bodice, so it's on a
little
chain. It's a
chatelaine.
chatelaine. A chatelaine that she has bits on. So
And
she
I
will
pick
check
up
her
the
mirrors
horseshoe
and
from the
stuff.
floor.
Sorry, what was that, Drew?
Mac picks up his horseshoe from the floor that he dropped to try to save Morgana.
That is a good idea. I can see a lot of you doing these things. Couple in your pocket,
Yeah, Morgana will check her stuff.
There's a little note folded up in there. Reminds you of some pieces of trash you've seen earlier in the day.
Yeah,
With red writing on it.
will.
We love you, Mommy.
What? Sorry, what was that?
We love you best, Mommy.
Marvelous. She will just fold that up and tuck it away somewhere.
I thought you'd like.
18 children. Woohoo.
Oh, I'm sure Morgana will make a wonderful uncle.
Remember, Morgan, like them than the others.
What was that? Sorry.
Remember, you feel more like them than the others do.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember that? That was the
Yeah.
thing. Now, I mean, Drew might want to ask some questions about some of that, but I don't know that. So you guys
A gentleman never inquires into a lady's past. He simply adores her as she is.
That's a very sweet way to go about it. You guys all go out and have a lovely lunch.
Just as a role-playing thing, Mac will go through with, sorry, what's Phoebe's last name again? Miss
Price.
Miss Price, explaining some of his grand's comments about placing horseshoes around a property, cold iron, salt, and so forth. Just if she finds it comfort, there are some things that she can do and be in control of around the household.
She makes a shopping list for the office. All of the things on Grant's list are now on the shopping list. She'll go out after and pick that up. Also, by about the time you guys are heading out, a runner has come back with a letter from the Knights of the Grail.
Yes. I will examine the letter. This one I'll probably
Basically,
everyone else.
something along the lines of absolutely what help do you need? What's going on? More details. Do we need to meet? That type of thing. Because remember, you said, hey, shit's going down. And they're saying, hey, we're here for you.
Well, that's very pleasant. Once we've had lunch, Morgana will send them a letter saying that thank you for your support. It means the world to us and all of that. As we've managed to deal with the immediate matter, but there is something I would like to discuss with one of your representatives at your first convenience.
A runner will come back later that evening, if not the next morning, and basically dinner and a place. for the next night.
Excellent. Morgana will accept that dinner invitation.
That all of you are invited.
Yeah. And we'll pass it on to others, that she will certainly be turning up and she will let her associates
Morgana
know.
The restaurant. It's a very posh restaurant.
Excellent.
Oh, joy. How posh.
Morgana's mother likes to have lunch there sometimes.
Ooh. So posh and stuffy. Ooh, excellent. Morgana may pull out one of her dresses.
Morgana also will then realize that it has private rooms.
Excellent, yes.
Posh enough that River has to play lady in waiting again.
No, just you're a dinner guest. You're not a lady in waiting for this, though. Wearing something nice would probably be sensible.
I was going to say more like you're playing lady, not lady in waiting.
Yes, you're in this circumstance. You're a lady, not a lady in waiting.
Bodyguard mode. Is that how you get me into a place like that?
No, you can go. They don't have any rules.
We've got an
that
invite.
We've got an invitation.
I appreciate that, but Mech is huge. Chairs don't hold him. You know, like if the role play for this is just more stand behind the lady's chair kind of thing, that's fine too. Whatever works.
Okay, so you'd be
That will
shocked to understand, but they do have some quite big chairs for people like you in these places.
All right, fair enough.
It turns out that this is the type of place that values money a lot. And if a troll has a lot of money, they value the troll.
Because they're going to eat a lot.
Because they're going to eat a lot, and that build's going to be huge. They like
And
that.
some with an ability turned into trolls, and not all of them got disowned and hidden.
Exactly. So you might want to put on your dress uniform, because that's probably one of the fancier things you own.
Yeah, I can do
August will
that,
put
and then
on
I'll ask the ladies very sheepishly if they wouldn't mind teaching him proper table etiquette just for the evening, so he'll do his best.
As the possessor of the etiquette skill in the party, Morgana will impart the wisdom of you start at the outside of the cutlery and drink work in.
When all
And
else
people will-
follows, whatever fork she has.
Yes, and
Check.
she will try and indicate the appropriate glasses to be drinking from at any given moment.
Check.
In the skill next, I'd really want to see in the system. The Earthdawn has one that allows you to lead other people through etiquette, which would be really handy in this circumstance. But I'm not good enough for in either version of the system. But
I don't think it's a system bash as much as it is you don't need that as a skill. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't take, in my opinion, a skill to go follow that dude.
yes, yeah.
Dude at
It was
whatever.
It was just more for role play that he would do his best. That's what
Yep.
how Mech is.
It's very sweet that he's like,
August will find his best suit. Oh, wait, does he have one?
Well,
That
he
would
has
probably be a no.
if we have time, Morgana will make sure everybody has a suitable suit.
I have a cheap suit. Excellent. That's the
Morgana
one I'm
will-
wearing.
Morgana will, possibly via Miss Price, have August sent to somewhere he can get a proper suit in a hurry.
honestly,
She will
you
cover
have
the costs for this.
so like as long as you can get something fairly off the rack that doesn't need a lot of alterations, you can get a decent suit. Maybe a bow tie. There you go.
Oh, bow tie.
That's for the parrot. Me and Brad
Dad.
I was typing just a bow tie at the same time as maybe a bow tie.
Is your parrot with you?
I'm not sure it's a very parrot-friendly restaurant.
Well, I meant out of the same realm. Nobody asked if the parrot. I'm going to
It was
him with.
it was part of our party, and that all of us coming out was needed.
Okay. I was assuming it came with, but what? Because I feel like it's a smart parrot and it has to learn something.
Have we lost Brad? Is he still there?
He stepped away for a second, but he's making bow tie jokes. So,
Oh, right, okay. It's all right. It's just that obviously because I've got my back to the screen, so I don't know.
Says that the parrot is not just a bird; it's a familiar. It's a fancy bird.
Well, you don't want to be too familiar in a place like this. It comes off as rude.
All right. So anybody who clothes Morgana, take shopping, whatnot, you guys go to the fancy restaurant. There might be a few eyebrows raised, but as soon as you say who you are there to meet, you're quickly, politely shown to a back room. And service starts with, drinks and whatever, appetizers and whatnot. And if I remember correctly, the knight that you guys have contact with most is Angela, isn't it?
It is, yes.
Hell yeah, rock the kilt. So Angela is sitting there looking very proper. And after the wait staff kind of exits the room so you guys can start on like the first course, she just kind of props both elbows on the table, leans forward. I'm very curious.
Morgana will relate the story. So you, of course, remember the she that we fought outside our employer's offices.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to forget that anytime soon.
No, well, apparently it had, I believe the correct word is dependents. Some fairly unpleasant dormouse-looking creatures who took it into their head to put us on trial for murder. Acts of revenge, and I presume the blood she collected from the scenes was being used to feed them.
You can just see that eyebrow raise a little.
She was,
Like, where does the eyebrow stop?
Morgana will swell. Don't worry, it just gets better. We defended ourselves as best we could, and then eventually have come to a deal with these creatures for our return to our own world, and I believe it should stop them finding another patroness of that nature to feed them, because we have found another way to feed them.
Dare I ask?
They feed off items that have linked with revenge. I'm sure you've had a look into our history since we first met.
She makes kind of an arrogant shrug as if to go, well, yeah, no duh, but I'm not going to say it because that sounds rude.
You know, we were involved in a case involving jewel thieves.
She nods.
One of the management of the Mark, I will use his surname, I can't find it in the notes, was attempting to, rather than bring the perpetrators to justice, kill them as revenge. And as luck would have it, Nigel was carrying the firearm that he carried for this purpose.
Didn't he kill himself?
He did, yes. Despite
Sad man.
I tried to stop. Yes, I was very, very upset by that. But we had kept the gun, and apparently the gun carries the emotions or some of the energy of the acts that were done with it. So we have agreed to periodically send them items with a similar history so that they may feed and they're not trying to cause their own trouble.
I'll be honest. I'm not sure how I feel about feeding fake creatures, but
Better than them finding someone else to feed them, I think.
I really don't want them on this side, to be honest. So
I'm not sure these things can come to this side, but I think the other option would be them finding another she of some sort that can feed them, and that would, well, this way we keep them on the right side and they're not
let's be honest, we're still cleaning up part of that.
Yeah, but they're not killing for other people to eat.
yeah. And in fact, we're stopping them finding someone who's going to try and cause more messes of that sort by simply sending them unneeded items with an unpleasant history. Obviously, if your people come across anything like that, that would be probably helpful, but that's possibly not the best solution we could have found, but it's the one we got.
Not a bad solution. Occasionally, I'm sure you'll find this completely unheard of. We run into an item that we don't really want in anybody's hands. Usually, something bad has been done with this item. Vengeance could be one of those things. Sentencing it to be fed off of in a Fey realm and never to be on this side, again, isn't necessarily the worst thing I've ever heard. Kinnison, you're correct. I'm sorry, I forgot. Thank you, Joel.
As said, I'm not convinced it was the solution we had at the time that got us all back, parrot and all.
Yeah, but think about it. Rather than being in some sort of impound lockup where it could be taken, sending it to a Fey realm to be eaten doesn't sound like a bad plan for some things.
Indeed, it doesn't. I was hoping you would be happy enough with the deal, and if we can help you dispose of things that need disposing of, all the better.
There's a slight smile that makes you wonder what horrible thing they have their hands on that they don't want people having. But you can tell she's got something in mind that she really doesn't think that anybody should have. And Mac totally bring that up. That's a very valid thing to bring up, Mac.
I will sheepishly whisper it to the person next to me so that I'm not talking directly to a lady of status that I don't know.
All right, so who's sitting next to Mac? August.
Hang on, let me go to the other screen.
Oh, sorry. He apparently Mac whispers to make sure that the Miss Kinnison is aware that the Deemster Dormice have the ability to do mirror magic and pull mortals through.
Ah. You know, you could just say that to Miss Kinnison, Mac, but I will relay it for you, don't worry. They can do
Mac
mirror
would nervously
magic.
shake his head.
Fair enough. Miss Kinnison, they can do mirror magic and bring people from our realm to theirs.
Which is how we ended up in that courtroom.
I mean, I've heard rumors that that's a possible thing, but I don't think I have known anyone who's, well, let me rephrase. I do not know anyone who that has happened to that has come back.
Well,
What you do now?
We've heard we have no proof of because, well, they never came back. So That is very interesting.
Mac sheepishly whispers again.
Hey, Brad. Do you have any way of knowing if somebody else is astral projecting, looking at you? Astral sight looking at you?
The mirror magic was stopped by cold iron and wearing it.
So the rumors about cold iron really truthful.
Appears to be true, yes. At least in this instance.
So I don't know that she is so I don't know if she quite puts her eyes in the back of her heads, because that would be giving away too much, but I'm gonna give you, Brad, that you're pretty sure that at this you guys went to the other side of a mirror and came back, that Angela is looking at you guys through the astral. Angela's going to look and if you've looked all through the astral yet.
Say again, Andy?
Angela's going to look at Nigel and ask if he's looked at all of you through astral sight. She highly recommends you. She will leave it at recommending you do so. The conversation goes throughout probably 4, 5, 6, 7 courses, something like that. But it's always, as soon as the wait staff is in, she's very quiet. When the wait staff leaves, she goes back to just discussing things pretty openly. At the end of dinner, she will again thank your service to, country and queen. Is glad that you made it back through to the other side. Is somewhat curious on if, in case others have questions about their experience, if you guys are willing to talk about it with other people in the Knights Grail Knights.
That would be, I think, certainly I would be willing to discuss matters.
Take a quick head count to see how many Grail Knights are in the area.
I mean, the only one you know is the one at the table with you.
Excuse myself to the bathroom and see who is paying way too much attention to the private room.
All right, roll awareness.
$14.
Seem to be any customer showing undue attention to the room.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I got a 21 on the astral sight.
It's very subtle, but all of your guys' patterns are slightly different.
Well,
The
we've all been given a new
notable
name.
is Morgana's. But Morgana has now spent two 2 times on the wrong side of the Fey door. And you were all given a new.
Sorry, that cut out. We're given a new.
Technically, you guys are given a new name. You are now Mother. As well as having been in the Fey realm, which may be. And Morgana's has more of a change than anybody else's. Nothing could go wrong, Morgana. Nothing. The rest of the dinner overall is rather pleasant. The food's very good. Service is excellent.
Still feel very out of place.
So does apparently Mac. Mac is feeling fairly out of place too.
River.
I am in
River-
place in bodyguard mode. I'm out of place at table, but I am trying to be really good.
He's enlisted in the officer's mess. Of course he's uncomfortable.
Exactly.
Nah, I'm just like social class, maybe 2 if I'm lucky.
River has her emotional support gun.
Excellent.
Or, you know, the one you keep under your pillow. I mean,
No, she would never keep it under the pillow.
never.
Isn't it?
It depends on who you talk to.
Holster
I know
on
several Texans that have carve out hidden spots in their headboards to hold out gun. You don't want it to lump under the pillow or fall off the bed. Trust me, it's not done.
That there are people who do it. I didn't say it was a good choice. It's like there are people who put their gun in a purse. Care how many times I tell them, please stop doing that. But there are people who do it.
But
By the way,
River
you know
would-
why you put your gun in a purse, right? The biggest crime really is like purse snatching. It's a very common crime. And so now you've given a person your home address, your keys, and a gun. All things you want a bad person to have. On top of that, women tend to have these big clunky purses where they store way too much shit. So finding the gun in there it's just a bad idea all around. Don't put your gun in the purse.
Morgana doesn't keep her gun on a chatelaine because we don't have handbags yet, but does keep it in a concealed holster when she's carrying one. Because
Most of
having
the
it on
women
your
I
little
know
chain hanging off your bodice is a bad idea.
most of the women I know have holsters built into the side of their purses. It's a retrofit thing.
Well, they have some that the purses are designed for that, which is a better solution, but it's still actually a bad plan. Because again, they steal your purse, they have your gun, they have your ID with your address, and they have your keys. Don't put your gun in the purse. It's a bad idea. Please stop doing this. Because even if you can quit, which a holster purse will allow you to do, it still gives them, when they steal your purse, your ID, which has your home address and your keys and a gun.
And this is not the same on the other side of the pond, right?
Very much no. We don't carry guns as standard.
Very few Brits, UK people that I know of can access a handgun, period.
You
Like
have to have a
hunting-
license. You have to have a license, and it tends to be, it's like the old gag from Hot Fuzz. So who has guns? Farmers mums. Basically, that's the kind of people that tend to have guns over here.
I think it's actually
And-
easier to own a shotgun than it is a handgun in this country these days.
Yes.
I was going to say, my understanding is that that's mostly rifles, not handguns.
That's
Yeah.
shotguns. Handguns. Yeah, no, not a thing.
Yeah.
Legally, legally, not a thing. over here.
Yeah,
As
I
the
have to
scene
say,
in
I
Hot
like that
Fuzz,
about.
if you got a
I like
license
that
for that
about-
rifle, listen.
Yeah. Over here, they're having an argument that you can't have mass assault rifles given to minor children, which is crazy to me. But there you go.
define given. I grew up in a household where what a lot of people would refer to as a mass assault rifle, we had them in the home, but you didn't touch a gun without dad's permission. So, but they were in the house.
If everyone
I mean-
had your attitude towards guns, I don't think gun control would be the problem it is anywhere. You have a very sensible attitude towards it, Andy.
Let's
stay
avoid
away from...
let's avoid the political topics, please.
The point being is
Yeah.
that 1879,
Understood.
there were
Apologies.
hand in the UK. So
Yeah, gun law is mostly a modern thing in Britain. So in 1879, a lot more guns about. Hence,
It was
So-
more, do you have the money to pay for having the gun?
yeah,
And, keeping the gun because, so someone wanted it more.
hence there's the ongoing trope in Sherlock Holmes fiction of Holmes forgetting his gun, so Watson has to fetch it and follow him, which is popped up in
So-
several
yes.
things. Yeah, it's a very different attitude to modern Britain.
Which characters read the newspaper?
Yes.
Yes,
So there's always murder in London. Always been, always will be. But there is a scandalous murder that has hit the papers. And it's a torso. Well, in all truth, it was a piece of a torso. I believe it is a left quarter of a woman's torso that was found on the muddy banks of the. All right,
Of the Thames.
Joel, don't. It's spelled Thames, but it's Thames, right?
Thames. Yeah,
So, yes, on the bloody bank of the Thames.
This is the next day, then.
Yep. Unless you guys are doing something else that night after dinner that you feel I need to know.
Which this
other
would
than
be
quietly.
this would be Thursday the 16th, correct? Or was the dinner Thursday and then we're on Friday?
The
I think the
dinner
dinner
was
was Thursday.
brought back. So if you went into the Fame Realm on Thursday, the dinner would have been on Friday.
We
So
went
this
to
would
the
be
Fame Realm.
No, we went to the favor on Wednesday, so dinner would have been Thursday, and now this is on Friday.
Mac did have one thing he wanted to do that evening, which was to take a saltwater bath.
Huh?
It's a bath you take when you've been exposed to things of superstition. You put salt in the water and you make sure you take a good bath.
I believe you. I feel like this is a valuable
Morgana feels her use of bath salts is justified. Excellent.
So, the article continues along. It's Friday. That's too bad. Friday. June 17th. It's Nikki's birthday, but she won't be born for 100 plus years. All right. That as the day progressed, more body parts were found, including the right side of the torso, portions of the lungs. That is what they have so far. So they have found most of the torso and portions of the lungs.
Oh, delightful.
And it is for Victorian era. It is a fairly scandalous, sensational, gory murder.
Does the newsprint have any details of, is it an animal attack or is it a butchering?
They're waiting for autopsy from the police, but nobody seems to think it's an animal.
Thank you. But we don't get involved in this sort of thing unless it's a job, right?
I'm expecting a letter, so to speak.
Oh,
That's up to you guys. Technically, you guys can involve yourself if you choose.
well, that's not going to make your Dauphier very happy. That's the dragon who considers the Thames their domain.
I mean, I'm sure it doesn't necessarily make him happy. At the
But
same
let's-
time, dragon, what does he care if somebody threw dead meat into something where fish die? Like,
Well,
It's
he'll
not
care
gonna
if
drive him
he'll care if somebody's polluting his domain with body parts. I mean, he's taken over the top of Victoria Tower, demanding that Parliament clean it up.
so, I mean, it's a possibility that he might be annoyed at this. Maybe he'll hire you. But that is some note in the news. Oh, and for those of you curious about good old Henry, he still hasn't been caught.
He's on my list. A trip to Cardiff may be in the offing, I believe, was the last place we'd heard of potentially him being. So
Where was
Morgana is Cardiff, I think you'd said last time. Because Morgana
Maybe.
had been trying to keep an ear to the ground for anything that sounded like rumours of him. And might hair off at a river-like pace if she gets something firmer.
You could look into seeing it's not been that long, but you could see if there's been more word about Henry.
Yes.
Mostly Henry, it's you don't find out about Henry, you find out about shit that sounds like Henry did.
Yeah, that's sort of what I was expecting.
Yeah. And if I remember correctly, the person who's really good at finding that information might have been like River and August, although you now have a new source.
Yeah.
Because Mac would have friends in the military who may have heard rumors of things.
Certainly. What can I roll for that?
Streetwise or military something. Pretty open-minded. What do you got? But you might want to find out who Henry is.
Okay. Well, he has knowledge growing up Scots with superstition and Gran. Life in the military, rank 1.
That would work.
All right. Roll in life in the military.
Yes.
I'd say it depends if Morgana mentions who Henry is.
Morgana will explain
Oh,
who
thought.
Henry is because it's an ongoing thing that she wants to do something about, being a gentleman who was working for a jeweler and essentially using the information he got there to steal shipments, and had convinced 2 fellow employees to work with him. And after we interrupted their one of their crimes, the matter that we got the handgun we gave to the dormice came up, which was somebody else working for the firm seeking revenge. But one of his accomplices died. He and the other lady were sent to prison, but he was let out by his own jailers because they thought it was a good idea. And we believe we know he had the ability to magically manipulate people.
So I think that's the big point of it is Henry can magically convince people to do stuff that they shouldn't do.
He has some form of mind control.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Mac rolled an 11, whatever that means, on a d12.
It will be clear in Morgana's telling of this story that she really does not like this man.
And the reason that Mark was trying to kill him because Mark
Yeah.
was trying to kill him, is because Mark was head of security and several security officers were killed. And the guy had mind control. He didn't actually even have to kill him. He did it anyways. And Mark
Yeah.
felt very comfortable. Can
I mean, I can look this up, but aren't we just a little before Jack the Ripper
Yeah.
in 1881?
Jack the Ripper's about 1889.
Okay. And I don't know if there were any other, historical big murders. It sounds very sensational. It sounds like it would be all over the newspapers of the day with a woman's naked torso found, or part of it in the
Well, that
river.
one is all over the newspapers. So,
Yeah.
but that is probably not Henry's scene. But
have to follow
unfortunately,
time. I can put whatever I want wherever I want.
yeah.
But yes, it would totally be all over the newspapers. In game, it is absolutely all over the newspapers.
Mm.
It is, however, because I decided I want to do Jack the Ripper. I mean, I like it. It's interesting, but I don't want to do it.
And Jack the Ripper is also bodies with bits missing rather than bits of bodies.
Yeah, he was a mutilator, not a chop him up. Like you said, it was
Yeah.
not an animal attack. Jack the Ripper would be more like an animal attack. Well, that's player talk, not character talk.
Yeah.
Anyway, apologies for interrupting. I was just trying to get myself oriented on the timeline. Kind of when are we talking here?
You guys are on Friday the 17th.
Yep.
So how do you guys canvass jobs?
We turn into the office and Miss Price gives us a job.
Okay.
I'm sure if we presented a case to her, she might be interested in it.
Well, she'd have to find an angle for making money for the business, though, right?
That would be the normal expectation, but sometimes reputation can work very well.
All right.
Yeah, collecting reward money.
Does she get the same paper we do?
I suspect she probably reads all the papers.
All right, so we don't need to add to things. It's she'll let us know, kind of thing.
I would
Maybe.
expect so.
I mean, not necessarily. I mean, unless someone came to her, she might not bring it to you guys unless you guys are interested in it. You can always bring a case to her.
All right. Well, how about if we do it? How about if we do it a little discreetly? We just, when we're in for tea, talking in the office. I know that she just went through a recent fright, and so she's sympathetic to a woman being kidnapped, killed, whatever. We talk about how terrible it is, and we hope all the resources of Her Majesty's government are, on it and finding out what happened and making things safe for other young women in London. Just bring those tones out so she knows we're sympathetic without overstepping.
Well,
Sounds like if that's what you want to do.
I think the first step is just go into the office.
yeah.
So you guys read the morning paper, have your cup of tea, and then want to go to the office?
A proper.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, for the Brits, is proper just means the right temperature, or does it mean something else?
Right temperature and right method of preparation, of which there is a lot of debate of milk first or such.
And the type.
If it's porcelain, then you put the milk in first, and then you put the tea in from the teapot because it protects the porcelain from the shock of the heat of the tea.
And even Morgana thinks porcelain's expensive.
Because it is.
Oh, yes.
There's no debate as to.
Oh, there is no
protect
debate.
the
Okay, check.
porcelain.
Okay, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
If it's proper porcelain, gods, yes, you put the milk in first, because, yeah.
Yeah. But what you
Doctor-
do with how you make your cup of tea beyond, it being in porcelain, do it however you like. Just don't heat your water in a microwave.
Oh, no. You boil the water. The way personally I do it is I put the hot water in the porcelain cup and let that sit for a couple minutes and warm the porcelain. And then I've got the tea made up, and then that goes in depending on the guest. It's either just that or with sugar, or with cream and sugar, or cream, depending on what they want. But you got to heat up that porcelain cup just so.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
My taught us that. That's for sure.
See, the important part is not in the microwave. Not
Yeah.
yet.
And Mac as a soldier should be aiming for cups of tea you can stand a spoon up in.
Exactly.
That would be called a builder's tea.
Yeah.
So, thing my voice at Gen Con, there was a tea salesperson. They had their version of a breakfast tea. And somehow this turned into a discussion with some random Gen Con goer about English versus Irish breakfast tea, and hands down Irish.
What?
Absolutely Irish. And if you want something to stand your spoon up, Irish.
Isn't Builder's Tea the brand?
No, Builder's tea is sort of a very strong cup of tea with milk a bit very sweet.
Well, no, it doesn't necessarily have to be very sweet. It's just how long you've let your tea brew or mash for.
I see.
Well, and the other aspect is Mac, being a troll, is going to be looking for a bowl, not a cup.
It's a proper troll mug, thank you.
Pinky up, even for the troll.
I'm not saying that, but it's just the size.
You put a handle on a bowl, and now it's a big cup. Obviously. I'm sure that there's a total market now for that in 1879.
Oh,
It wasn't
completely.
I would look
handle
at their
on it.
teacups like little Demitas, the little espresso cups. I'm like, oh, have a proper cup up.
That'd be a sake mug.
Yeah.
Totally different drink.
Yeah.
All right. We are 15 minutes till. Let's do the morning at the office.
Sure.
And then we'll call it a day.
And just so I have my calendar correct, it's 2 weeks from today, same time?
Same time, same bat.
Gotcha.
All right, you guys all enter the office. Miss Price seems to be a lot more herself. She has not bought new mirrors. She is still absolutely opposed to cleaning and taking alley.
Drew, I think Andy's echoing off of you very badly.
Oh, my apologies. I'll put it on mute. Thank you. Oh. Thank you for letting me know.
All right, so Ms. Price seems more like her normal self. The mirrors did not come in. She is absolutely adamant that those mirrors can stay and go with the trash. She never wants to see those mirrors again. She hasn't had a chance to buy new mirrors yet. She probably goes shopping over the next few days. She will, as usual, bring the tea cart around. She might not know Mac's preferred tea yet, how he likes his tea, but everybody else, she probably has a good idea of how they like their tea. So she'll start with that, and she'll say something along the ideas of, after yesterday's experience, I felt like mayhaps you guys would like a long weekend. And then she'll kind of look around, wanting to see if that's what you want.
Some time to gather our wits again and be fresh.
She'll nod.
Seem to. Doesn't seem too bad a suggestion.
Mac will just indicate he's happy to go to work today or in a week. It does not matter to him. But he'll be carrying the paper with the story right on the outside for I keep for blocking her name. What is the problem with me? Miss Smith to see.
Phoebe Price.
Miss Price, that's her.
Let's see if she notices. She does. She kind of makes a grimacey look and basically says that horrible thing, isn't it?
Mac says it just makes me want to beat someone up. Find the perp and beat him up.
She nods at the sentiment. Says something about how it seems like crime is getting worse and worse in the city.
Do we want to take a long weekend, or do we want to look into this?
Frankly, I can jump into work to keep my mind occupied, or I can find other things to fill it with.
I'm not sure there's a lot we've got to be going on. They found the body, but
They found part of the body.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And
Is
where do
Scotland
we?
Yard in this time? Is that go back this far?
Yes,
Well, sort of.
they haven't got New Scotland Yard yet, but the old Scotland Yard goes back to the 1850s, I believe. So
Yeah, it was,
so
I knew
yeah,
1800s.
but wasn't same. My understanding is it doesn't necessarily umbrella over everything like people think it does. This would still probably be that area's police would be the
It's-
first one to look at it.
the Metropolitan Police has been around since like the late 1830s and is all of London's police forces.
Right. So it would be the
Um,
Metro Police to start it off.
So we
yes.
could either go to the go to the police or go to the reporters who hound the police to find out the scoop if we wanted to.
I'm not sure the police would be open to working with us. They can be quite territorial.
That is also
Reporters?
true.
Reporters it is then?
No, but we at least have a track record.
You have contacts within the police.
Also true.
How about column A, and if that doesn't work, column B?
Don't forget option C, talk to the animals.
I mean, that's really option D. Because
Not
River,
everyone can do that, River.
Yeah, but we can.
No, you can.
And I don't think you should lessen your contribution to our work because of being the one who can do that.
Well, no, but my point still stands that not everybody can do that.
Mac did not know she could do that.
Look, everyone can talk to animals and listen to the animals. Not everyone chooses to.
I was going to say that we can all talk to animals. You could just understand their replies.
look. First off, I wasn't totally sure that everybody believed she could. Just that she said she did.
Just to be complete, didn't they say was the banks of the Thames near Whitechapel in the paper?
Whitechapel is not mentioned.
Whitechapel is not mentioned. Okay. Oh, maybe
Actually,
that's a
near
Jack the Ripper thing.
Sea Pier would be the closest place.
Well, we could also go down there and just see, check the place out. The police may not have access or have yet called in an astral sensitive, for example. So there might be things that we could help them with.
The police are not moving quickly. They are starting to get some magically intuitive people, but it is early in that yet. Because I believe you guys even know a couple who are in that early section.
So that might be something we could genuinely contribute that might help them get where they need to go with this.
Potentially.
You guys just tell me what you want to do.
That August turned up to work in the morning and he was happy to work, assuming Miss Price had something for us, but or he's here now, so if we want to go and investigate this,
Well,
I'm not sure
I mean,
what we'd be able to find other than what has already been found, but
Miss Price
you know.
technically had a case, but she was holding off until Monday because it was not really a matter of life or death. And quite frankly, she was rather shook up. She didn't even go across the mirror. So she just assumes that all of you need a long weekend.
Well, as August said, he was ready to come and work if that's what she had for us, but he's also if she wants us to. But that's just August.
Yeah, I'm here for whatever the job is.
All right, so I hear 2 votes for a job, and I believe 1 vote for go look into the article from the paper.
Mac is way too green to the team to make any suggestion. He'll just go with the crowd.
Yeah. Paper or the job. Either way.
Morgana?
I think it may be worth a starting look into it, but as I said, I'm not sure from just a body, if we can get access to the parts of a body we have, what we can find that would be useful from that.
And also it's
Sorry, so if I'm hearing you guys correctly, it is. Correct? Stop.
You're breaking up
sorry, you
again there,
broke
Andy.
up.
So you guys are you job. That's what I'm hearing. Job.
Yeah.
I mean,
Or whatever it is that Miss Price has for us.
Job. So I'm going to leave you with she pulls out because there's always one someplace a manila folder.
Ba-ba-bum.
And we'll pick up with the job offer next session. You guys have been fantastic. I feel like you deserve major awards for coming up with such a fantastic solution.
Yay.
Because, like, I really thought that was really cool and very creative. 750 AP for the party. That fair?
Nice.
For such a good job?
Thank
And
you.
you're one skills.
And we have to have ticks equal to the new rank or the current rank to increase
The
something.
new rank. So if you're at rank 2 and you want to get to rank 3, you need 3 ticks.
Oh, I
Gotcha.
could put my free skill lore up. Excellent.
Everybody say goodbye.
Thank you, Andy. Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you, Andy.
Bye.
Goodbye,
I'll sign off the
everybody.
stream. So thank you very much, everybody, for watching. If you weren't able to tune in, we'll get it uploaded to the YouTube, and we will see you guys next time.